Drop a message in text chat and keep it friendly.
Τι κάνει έτσι? Έχω 8.000, 1.700. Wait, κοντά είμαι, αλλά... Έχω κανένα κουτί να ανοίξω. Έχω πολλά κουτιά, actually. Wait. Μα κάτσουμε λίγο. 2.000, πάω στα 10.000. Με αυτά και με αυτά. Ναι, αλλά και πάλι θέλω 300 gems, είναι πάρα πολλά. Δεν νόμιζα πώς θα μαζέψω 300 gems. Άντε και πες κάπως φτάνει στο gold. Στα gems πώς θα φτάσει, δεν γίνεται. Θα πρέπει να ανοίξω πάρα πολλά κουτιά. I don't know. Match in progress. Ποιος πολεμάει? Ο Red Dragon. Έλληνας. Red Dragon. Κάτσε να τον κάνουμε ένα spectate. Red Dragon. Ω, τι σου έβγαλε εκεί πέρα, κοίτα πόσο κοτόπουλο του έβγαλε. Guys, έχει βάλει spectate mode, απίστευτο. Μπορώ να κάνω και emote. Μπορώ να το χειροκροτάω από εδώ πάνω. Δεν ξέρω αν μ' ακούει. Ω, δεν θα τελειώσει ποτέ αυτός, ρε. Κοίτα πως παίζει. Ποτέ δεν θα τελειώσουνε. Κοίτα πόσο κοτόπουλο το έβγαλε. Oh my god. Μάλλον είναι new player. Οκ, μπορούμε να δούμε βιντεάκια τότε. Έχετε τίποτα να δούμε? Θα κάτσω εδώ να περιμένω τον Mr. Red Dragon. Άμα δούμε the oldest Fortnite Victory Royale ever. What?
Get the fuck off of me. I cannot stand players that do that. Yeah, you really think you're gonna kill me with that, right? Shit out of here.
Α, ήταν τότε που έχτιζες. Δηλαδή αυτό είναι από το 2017 του gameplay.
Orange. An orange scar.
Βρήκε orange σκαράκι και νίκησε.
Okay, now I need help because this is good.
Θυμάμαι κι εγώ όταν έδειξες κάτι τόσο καλό. It was over. Like, στα αλήθεια νόμιζα ότι θα νικούσες. Ω, κοίτα πως ήταν τότε. Δεν έβλεπες καν ρε τα health potions. Κάτσε τώρα πώς πήγαμε εδώ. Τι έγινε? Τι έγινε τώρα εδώ? Από 48 players πήγαμε στους 20. Στους 18. Οκ. Και βλέπω παίζει από το PlayStation, οπότε ίσως να είχε ένα advantage, ας πούμε, disadvantage. Πώς γίνεται να παίζει από το PlayStation, ρε, και να είσαι καλός το 2017. Δεν είχε καν aimbots και τέτοια τότε. Είχε aimbots από το PlayStation. Okay, that's weird.
Sounds like they got two over there.
Oh, wait. Μπήκαμε μέσα στο fight. Θα το συνεχίσουμε μετά, guys. Πρέπει να πολεμήσω τώρα. Ο καημένος θα χάσει πολύ γρήγορα. Ο Red Dragon, δυστυχώς. Oh no. Oh no, Red Dragon. Τι είπες? Τι είπες? Μάγα. Κάπως έτσι δεν έλεγε. Απλά έφυγε. Απλά έκανε τις λογκόπαλοι. Oh no, I'm a bully. I'm bullying them. Sorry guys, πρέπει να τελειώσουμε το mod. Πρέπει να φτάσουμε 2.000 crystals. Μου αρέσει πάρα πολύ αυτό το skin. Δεν μπορείς να φανταστείς πόσο μου αρέσει. Yeah. Από πού θα πας, Γιαννάκη, από πού? Ωραία, θα πας από εκεί. Και παίρνουμε και το κοτόπουλο μαζί μας. And it's over. Νικήσαμε. Τόσο easy. So easy. Easy. Very easy. Εγώ και ποιος ξέρει από πού είναι αυτό. Όποιος ξέρει, ξέρει. Ω, μας έδωσε μεγάλο chest όμως. Κανένα 40 λεπτό θα είναι αυτό. Very easy. Μια μισή ώρα, καλά, εντάξει. Ένα slot κατηλημμένο, guys. Όχι ρε. Δεν θα το δούμε ούτε σήμερα. Και τελειώνει και το limited discount που έχει για το Σαββατοκύριακο. This skin is so cute. Oh my god. Είναι λίγο φαλακρό βέβαια, αλλά δεν πειράζει. Πανεύκολο πάλι. Το έχω μάθει τόσο καλά αυτό το game. Αυτό το mod. Δεν μπορεί να με νικήσει κανείς νομίζω. Κοίτα, αν είναι τετράλεπτα τσεστάκια μπορούμε να περιμένουμε. Αν μου βγάζει όμως συνέχεια Και 400 γκολντάκια. Let's go, let's go. Φτάσαμε 12.000. Άμα βγάζει όμως συνέχεια 40 λεπτά τσεστάκια ή μια μισή ώρα και γεμίσουν όλα τα slots, τότε δεν μπορούμε να παίξουμε. Τώρα εδώ πάμε να δούμε λίγο τη συνέχεια του βίντεο. Έχουμε 1,5 λεπτάκι μπροστά μας. Είναι πολύ καλός ρε φίλε από το PlayStation. Τι φάση, εγώ δεν είχα στόχο τέτοιο ούτε από το PC. Μας δουλεύει. Κοίτα πως πήγαινε τότε. Σαν κουράδα, σαν κουραδούλης. Βασικά, guys, το ότι επιστρέψαμε μετά από τόσο καιρό έχει πάρα πολύ καλά. Γιατί φαντάσου τότε δεν έτρεχες για να πας από τη μια μεριά του map στην άλλη. Έπρεπε να χακάρεις το game. Αν θυμάστε εκείνα που βρίσκανε τα glitches μέσα σε κάποια cars, μπαίνανε μέσα σε σπίτια και τους πετούσε και πεθαίνανε στην άλλη μεριά του map. Δεν είχε αυτές τις μπάλες π.χ. που μπορούσε να τρέχεις τώρα. Δεν είχε τα jump launch pads. Δεν είχε τα gliders να πετάς. Να μπορείς τα αμάξια να τρέχεις. Ήταν πολύ απλό το game. Απλά έπεφτες μέσα σε ένα καρτούνι Battle Royale PUBG φάση game και απλά βαρούσες τους άλλους. Ήταν πολύ πιο απλές οι εποχές τότε. Και λογικά τότε το Gold Scar ήταν χρυσός, έτσι. Μετά τον νερφάρανε full. Δηλαδή το damage αυτό που κάνει τώρα αυτός. Τι κάνει, κοίτα εδώ τι κάνει. Κλείνει πόρτες, ανοίγει πόρτες, πετάει κάτω το Scar. Δεν ξέρει τι να κάνει. Χτίσε, χτίσε. Και ότι ήξερε κιόλας να χτίζει από το PlayStation, εντάξει, αυτό με ξεπερνάει εμένα. Πάντως, να ξέρετε, εδώ δεν ξέρω να χτίζω εγώ εδώ τώρα από το PC. Μήπως να κάνεις κανένα reload.
I'm gonna get up over this hill.
Το στρίμαρε τότε. Γιατί είναι σαν να μιλάει σαν
This is really
βιντεάκι.
small.
Κοίτα πως ήταν το map. Πάνω δεξιά. Πολύ απλό. Ο κύκλος. Ένας μπλε κύκλος και ένας άσπρος κύκλος. Ακραίο. This is crazy. This is awesome.
They gotta be coming. Get beat. Oh man. This gun's ridiculous. See another one. I think that was him.
Ω, σχεδόν πέθανες όμως.
Come on, heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. This guy's gonna be coming out.
He's low, he's low. Κτίσε.
He's got the advantage. I gotta get up here.
Μέχρι να πας εσύ έχει χιλάρι.
I ain't losing heal.
Κάποιος τους βαράει από μακριά με σνάιπερ.
Whoops. I need your medium bullets, please. 4 left, 7 kills. Come on, man. Where's
Μόνο
everybody
19
hiding at?
σφαίρες. Δεν έχει σφαίρες ρε ότι πας. One v1, όχι. Είναι άλλοι 3 player. Πώς μείνανε 3 player ακόμα. Κοίτα πως τρέχει. Κοίτα πως τρέχει. Άστος να πολεμήσουν μεταξύ τους και πήγαινε εσύ για το kill μετά. Ο ένας κυνηγάει τον άλλον. Ο άλλος που είναι. Μέσα σε κανένα εγώ έτσι έκανα. Και έμενα στο τέλος. Κρυβόμουν μέσα σε θάμνους. Κοίτα πως ήταν το zone ρε, τέλειο. 11 σφαίρες μόνο, ακραίο. Του έκλεισε το zone εκεί πέρα που είναι. Μια χαρά, νίκησε.
Yeah! Game, folks! Hell yeah! Victory Royale. How many we got? How many kills? Straight beast. Woo!
Και το έκλεισε κατευθείαν. Έλα ρε. Ήθελα να δω κι άλλο. Okay. Wait. Άνοιξαν και τα δύο τα chest. Actually. Let's go, let's go. Μου άρεσε αυτό το βιντεάκι. 500 gold και 12 gems. Μπορώ να πάρω ένα gem chest κάπως. Please. Πώς θα μαζέψουμε gems ρε φίλε, είναι πάρα πολλά. Fish sticks, fish chops, fish kopf. Okay. Θα σε κάψω. Don't come here. Πάρε μια μέλισσα τώρα να έχεις. Όχι, ακούγεται πάλι... Οκ, μένος δεν έχει ιδέα. Δεν έχει ιδέα ότι είμαι τόσο καλός. Πάρε ένα crystal, μπας και σε βοηθήσει. Ούτε τα crystals δεν έχει μάθει ακόμα. Παίζει να ήταν το πρώτο του fight εντωμεταξύ, δεν πειράζει. It's okay. Όχι, τι μας έδωσε, great chest. I mean, it's good, αλλά δεν μπορούμε να περιμένουμε τόση ώρα. Αυτό είναι πάνω από 2 ώρες. Πόσες ώρες είναι, 4 ώρες. Είναι το καλύτερο chest σε όλο το game αυτό. 4,5 ώρες έχω μόνο ένα κενό slot, guys. Μόνο ένα κενό slot έχω να φαρμάρουμε λίγο. Δυστυχώς.
Johnny 30 says in game, Emu. Johnny 30 says in game, do you have any tips?
Του μαθαίνουμε.
Johnny30 says in game, no. Johnny30 says in game, let's play if it's okay for you.
Α, τι καλός ρε. Θέλει να παίξουμε. Ρε, του μαθαίνω. Τέλειο. Σχεδόν τον νίκησα, τα άλλα τον χτύπησαν από πίσω. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm sorry κόποφο. I'm sorry. I try.
Johnny30 says in game, okay, I will play around with Jonesy.
Okay, I will leave, I will leave. Πάμε να τον αφήσουμε. Πάμε να αλλάξουμε σερβερ. Good luck, δεν πρόλαβα να τον πω. Τι ωραία ρε, κάτι τέτοια μου αρέσουνε. Είχα βρει και έναν άλλον μια φορά και απλά ρίχναμε ένας βόμβες στον άλλον και κρυβόμασταν πίσω από τα towers. Ήταν και εκείνο πάρα πολύ ωραίο gameplay, αλλά νομίζω το είχα κάνει από το κινητό και μου είχε πει, α ναι δεν με πειράζει λέει, που νομίζω το έχω ξαναπεί αυτά. Λέει δεν με πειράζει που είσαι έτσι καλός. Εγώ μπήκα μόνο για τα pets αυτά, το sidekick. Γιατί είχε ακόμα το quest για να ξεκλειδώσει το sidekick που έλεγε πρέπει να παίζεις σε maps τέτοια. I'm an expert. Δεν το πιστεύω ότι του είπα I'm an expert. Έλα ρε, είμαστε τόσο κοντά. Δεν νομίζω να μπορέσουμε όμως να το πάρουμε guys και πάλι. Μας έπεσαν πάρα πολύ καλά chests. Όχι ότι γκρινιάζω για τα chests, απλά δεν μπορούμε να κάτσουμε τόση ώρα on stream για να τα δούμε. Κατάλαβες πως το εννοώ. Yeah, anyways. Τώρα θα περιμένω αυτό 2,5 λεπτάκια. Έχουμε 2,5 λεπτάκια. Μπορούμε να δούμε ένα βιντεάκι άλλο. Unlucky. Top 35 funniest fails in FORTNITE. Καινούριο είναι αυτό. Κάτσε να το κλείσουμε αυτό. 15 times streamers barely escape natural disasters. Όχι, δεν θέλω να το δούμε αυτό. Here. Not here. Αυτό το είχαμε σταματήσει λίγο με τον Τύφου. Το θυμάστε που έχει κάνει retirement. Του κλέψανε το account. Έχει ποντίκι με διαμάντια πάνω στο ποντίκι. Τα διαμάντια στο ποντίκι είναι όλα τα λεπτά.
That one, because that's the coolest trophy I have. Or the belt, probably. TwitchCon Grand Champion fall. Yeah, because I was like in my prime, and then like probably the most hype behind that one, and I think we won like 250K. The trophy's just badass. Like it's fucking. This is all like handcrafted wood. Oh shit! Oh damn, this thing's crazy. I didn't know it came off the wall, bro. Yeah, you could use this thing. That's probably one of my favorite trophies right there. What is this for? For those that don't know. That's a Destiny World's first like raid belt. 2016. So when Destiny would like release a new raid, everyone would get their like 5-man team or whatever together to try to solve the raid first. Got some aura. This is even before you like kind of blew up. Yeah, you know? So this is like real OG phase. Yeah, I would be live streaming with like like maybe like 100, 200 viewers, and like when I got that belt, like my shit spiked like 50K, and I was like, what the fuck? But I mean, there's people that have been streaming Destiny for like over 10 years and they've never gotten one.
Damn.
That means a lot to me right there, because that's where it started was Destiny, you know. Do you ever think like there'll be a game that brings you back to days like this?
Αυτό ήταν τότε όντως OG που έπαιζαν με building modes και τέτοια. Τώρα νομίζω και να ανοίξει θα είναι σαν τον Myth. Guys, ούτε 1000 viewers δεν μαζεύουν πλέον, να ξέρετε. Άμα δεν κάνουν κάποιο collab με κάποιον άλλον ή άμα δεν φέρουν γκόμενες on stream, δεν τους βλέπει κανένας πλέον νομίζω. Αλλά δεν τα χρειάζονται, έχουν βγάλει τόσα πολλά. Έχουν βγάλει όντως εκατομμύρια. Εκτός άμα είσαι ο Φούσι. Ο Φούσι Tube που μπορείς να τα χάσεις από τη μια μέρα στην άλλη και να γίνεις μετά τυπάς kick streamer για να πάρεις πίσω τα χρήματά σου. Όπα, κάτσε. Τι έγινε? Το τσεστάκι μας. Να μην ξεχάσουμε το τσεστάκι μας. Ναι. 1800. We're so close. Μόνο 200 crystals θέλω. Άρα την επόμενη φορά, guys, τότε. Damn it, και δεν ξέρω πότε θα ξαναστριμάρω. Ωραία, πάμε να περιμένουμε εδώ. Άμα ξυπνήσει πάλι αυτός. Τουλάχιστον τώρα έχω ανοιχτό slot.
Nothing really shows you how far he's come. Dive bars in the world is up here on the for sale, or you're just like, I love. Yeah. Would you say like that's a good investment? Like, is that something you're hoping to flip?
Αυτό. Άμα είσαι σαν το Fuji Tube, θα τα χάσεις όλα επειδή τα ξόδευσε ποτά, αμάξια και γκόμενες. Ενώ άμα είσαι έξυπνος σαν αυτούς, τα βάζεις σε investments και βγάζεις ακόμα περισσότερα. Μόνο με χρήματα μπορείτε να βγάλετε περισσότερα χρήματα.
I think the dirt's a good investment. Okay. I think owning a bar is like, it's not open making money, so I can't be like, it's a great investment. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think that if I didn't have as much money as I did, and I was like, this is going to be like the deciding factor whether I'm going to thrive financially or not, I would buy a bar.
Yeah, fair. Okay. So it's because you have a little bit more fun money. You can kind of test the waters. You came back to Florida, like after the whole LA thing with that stint. Why'd you decide to come back here? You just couldn't complain. You just loved it.
I love California. I'm not the biggest fan of the people that live there.
Agreed. I'm aligned on that one.
My whole mom's side of the family, including my mom, grew up in Malibu and Santa Monica. My parents had a beach house in Venice, and they sold it and moved here because they decided.
Ρε guys, κάτι τυπάδες σαν αυτόν ή τον Λόγκαν ή τον άλλον που άκουγα τώρα πάρα πολύ αυτές τις μέρες. Πώς λεγότανε, ο τραγουδιστής Μπένσον Μπούνι. Έχουν αυτές τις φάτσες του Αμερικάνου, ρε φίλε. Είναι κλασική Αμερικάνη, μπορείς να πεις. Τίφου, Μπένσον, Λόγκαν, είναι κλασική Αμερικάνη. Μπήκαμε μέσα σε fight. Wait, Hulk. Προσπαθείς να με νικήσεις ενώ είμαι FK. Don't scam me. Και βάζεις και ένα κοινό άνθρωπο και τελείωσες. Αυτό είναι, νικήσαμε. Μάλλον ο Χαλίκο είναι FK, όχι εγώ τελικά. Damn. Λέτε να το σπαμάρουμε, να τον σκαμάρουμε έτσι. Ενώ είναι FK. Όχι, εντάξει. Μια μπανάνα μου αρέσουν. Αυτό με τις μπανάνες είναι καλό, guys, που σημαίνει ότι είναι μικρά chest. Μπορούμε να τα ανοίγουμε κατευθείαν. Αν είμαστε τυχεροί. Μόνο 10 δεύτερα περιμένεις για αυτό το τσεστάκι, αλλά δεν σου δίνει και πάρα πολλά rewards, οπότε δεν ξέρω αν αξίζει. Είναι, ξέρεις, like-dislike κατάσταση. Mm. 5 crystals μόνο. Οκ. 5 κρυσταλάκια. Πάμε να δοκιμάσουμε. Τι θα γίνει, τελικά ο Χαλίκ θα μπει. Δεν θα μπει. I don't know. Σε μία ώρα, λέτε να περιμένουμε μία ώρα, που είναι και το limited time. Ίσως να ξεκλειδώσω όλες τις κάρτες. What do you say? Γιατί τα άλλα δεν νομίζω να τα δούμε σήμερα. Κοίτα, άμα φάμε άλλο cup από άλλο chest, μεγάλο, πολύ ωραίο chest εννοώ, θα πάω να ξεκλειδώσω τώρα ό,τι ξεκλειδώνεται. Να περιμένουμε δηλαδή εδώ πέρα. Να αγοράζω κάρτες τέτοιες. Γιατί μου μέναν πάρα πολύ λίγες και είναι όλες level 9. Which is crazy. Είναι FK. Τώρα βγήκε αλλά έχασε. It's okay. Αυτό το chest δεν ξέρω, είναι τετράλεπτο chest. Άμα είναι τετράλεπτο μπορούμε να κάτσουμε. Όχι, δεν είναι τα discounts αυτά. Δεν αξίζει να αγοράσω. Το χάσαμε το Σαββατοκύριακο. Να είναι το τετράλεπτο. Οκ. Περιμένουμε πάλι αν είναι.
Venice Beach wasn't the greatest place to raise a family. I think that was probably a good decision considering I turned out all right, I guess.
What is this? What was this before?
This is like a telephone switching facility in like the 60s and 80s and shit.
What was the plan with buying this?
I didn't have like a lot of money, but it was like kind of right after I blew up on FORTNITE.
Yeah.
So I bought this place for like $900,000 and like it's probably worth like around like 5 or more.
Ένα εκατομμύριο.
It's not a lot of fun here. I would say it was a good investment overall. ancient, bro. I mean, how long ago did Mr. Beast give this to me? It's coming on almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's wild. Does this thing move anymore, or this thing sat here for?
No, I mean, bro, these lines, you could probably get it running.
Φαντάσου πόσα βγάζει ο Mr. Beast, ρε φίλε. Άμα έβγαλε αυτός. Λέει, εντάξει, είχα πάρα πολλά λεφτά, το αγόρασα για 1 εκατομμυριάκι, λέει. Τίποτα. Νομίζω τώρα είναι καλό investment. Μπορώ να το πουλήσω για 5 εκατομμύρια, άμα θέλω. Αλλά ακραίο. Ακραίο. Εγώ σε φάση το μόνο που θα έκανε είναι να πάρω ένα. Τι να σου πω. Εξοκικό, ξέρω εγώ. Και απλά θα άραζα σε καμιά παραλία και δεν θα έκανε τίποτα. Οι περισσότεροι αυτό θέλουν να κάνουν. Like retirement.
Who are these guys? We're trying to figure out who those guys are. That's Daffy and the other guy. I'm his father, so don't say anything. Right?
Barely. We didn't do a blood test, so we don't know.
You have my intelligence, so I already know that. That's why you're such a great gamer, because you got my brain.
Well, we spent the tour in the gym, apparently?
Yeah, I try to work out every day.
It's not a bad gym.
Dude, there's a lot of expensive gym equipment.
Yeah, this is some good
This is
shit.
some real commercial gym stuff. How often are you in here?
Είδες πώς είναι το mentality των γονιών. Και καλά, άμα πετύχει, λέει, έγινες πολύ καλός στα παιχνίδια. Ενώ άμα δεν ήταν καλός, θα έλεγε, γιατί παίζεις μόνο παιχνίδια, παίζεις, τι κάνεις. Δεν κάνεις τίποτα. Όλη μέρα, ξέρω. Αυτό είναι το mentality. Άμα και αρχίζεις, βγάζεις και κερδίζεις πάρα πολλά, μετά σου λέει, καλός, είναι πανέξυπνο, το παιδί μου είναι πανέξυπνο τελικά. Έχει το δικό μου το μυαλό επειδή κερδίζει τα παιχνίδια. Και τι κάνει όλη μέρα, κάνει skateboard. Τσεκάρει τα investments του, πόσα λεφτά έχει βγάλει και ξαναβγάζει κι άλλα. That's it. That's the life.
So if there's like a flood, would it
Fireworks off up here?
Inside.
Oh, nice.
At each other.
so if there's like a flood, would it be like smart to just chill on the roof like this? Like,
It's gonna be windy as fuck, no?
what if it's just like last minute, like I gotta go somewhere?
Yeah, the wind.
You'll be able to make it, no?
Maybe just chill like that. Like, just right there where that ladder was.
The street flood's real bad.
Τι, έχει ελικόπτερο, δεν τον ενδιαφέρει. Σίγουρα θα έχει ελικόπτερο.
The water that came in here is probably like halfway up that green fence. Yeah, this whole court was like completely underwater. All these cars were underwater.
I just can't even like wrap my head around.
You don't see grass, you don't see roads. This is just water.
You guys
All you see is just trees.
You have to use a boat to get around the streets or what?
No, because it floods in and out pretty quick. You could, yeah, though.
Dang, it seems like nothing really phases this guy. Now that the warehouse tour is over, Tifu took us to his favorite local spot, where his dad told us stories no one had ever heard before.
My name should be Trouble. My name should be Whoa.
Did you have many jobs growing up?
It's just like deliver paddleboards and teach kids how to skimboard.
That's pretty sick.
I used to do like landscaping.
You were always outdoors, it sounds like, when you were younger. You were just fucking doing stuff, man.
Yeah, just a bunch of side gigs, whatever.
Were you ever like, I gotta figure out how to make a bunch of money, or I gotta figure out how to do something different?
I didn't really care to be like a millionaire. I just wanted
Freedom?
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to like afford food because I just like to eat. And that was I didn't have a car until I was 21.
You guys were probably biking around and doing shit.
Bikes and skateboards and rental cars, you know. But like growing up like in this area, like you didn't really need to go anywhere.
Anything,
you know what I mean? Dick, how many times did you bring me to LA before I even thought about moving there?
Probably 100. He spent a lot of time in Malibu. And then when he wanted to move there, I said, well, it's a shitty place to live. Have at it and see how it works for you.
Check it out.
And he wore it out and came back. Where his grandmother lived in Malibu, there was all the celebrities. I taught them it doesn't mean anything. A kid walked up to me years ago when we were doing all the videos, and he goes, "You're famous." And I go, "It's not worth a warm bucket of spit."
So you weren't scared about him going into the LA scene and getting involved in all that. You kind of knew that you set him up for success.
Fear wasn't the thing. He was buying a property, and we had to go to the Bank of America, so I flew out there. And he pulls up at this 7-Eleven, and he's in a Lamborghini, and I go, "Where'd you get this piece of shit?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." He says they let me have it, but after he drove it, he's like, "This is a piece." He learned from being there. I didn't have to worry about it. You were there a very short period of time.
Έχουμε τσεστάκι. Wait. Πριν μπει κανένας άλλος player και χρειαστεί να τραχαντάρουμε. Κοίτα, 500-500 άμα ανοίγουμε κάθε φορά. Είναι 1000 gold. Το gold μπορεί να το φτάσω, ξαναλέω. Με αυτό το scam way. Το άλλο δεν το φτάνουμε με τίποτα. There's no way. Γιατί ακούγεται έτσι ρε guys? Έχει και σας reverb το game. And that's a win. Είμαστε κοντά για άλλο gold. Νομίζω είναι πάλι τετράλεπτο τσιστάκι. Οκ. Το δέχομαι. Δεν έχει και players τώρα μέσα ούτως ή άλλως. Οπότε είμαστε good. Μπορούμε να κάτσουμε. Πάμε να συνεχίσουμε το βιντεάκι.
What they want most of their life. They would go on the beach and go in the water. Because if you think about it, you're on the beach, so you can go out in the water and you can worry about sharks and all that, drowning and whatnot. Or you can go on the mainland and you've got every kind of predator in the world and drugs. Because he fishes a lot, I think he prefers the water. Could I say that for you? What do you
Yeah, of course I do.
Because it's much nicer and you don't have to deal with people.
Right.
Once in a while a shark comes by, you tap him on the head. Testament to Turner, he never cared about the money. He never cared about the fame. He just did what he wanted to do. I'll never forget when Jack, his brother, went to North Carolina and drove that bus that was on the side. Did you look at it? That bus? They drove it here, and it's got a governor on it, so it only does 45. And they're on the interstate. Mr. B's Jimmy is driving this bus at 45. People are honking. And they drove it here. And I said to Jimmy, how old were you? 18, 19, something like that?
Oh, yeah, about 19 or 20.
He never had a job, and he never owned a car. Didn't need it. What do you need a car for? And I said, Jimmy, that's the first vehicle he's ever owned.
That's amazing, right?
Now think about it. This is the first car, right? You remember your first car. His first car was a battle bus.
Τρελό ρε φίλε.
I mean, if you look at that sticker right there, that's what I remember. Did this house used to be a different color at one point?
Yeah, this is where I used to.
Το πρώτο του αμάξι ήταν το Battle Pass.
This is the fucking
I remember this window. Yes.
I don't know if it'll open.
Used to be streaming
This is
right
where I used to
here.
stream in here,
Yes.
too.
Didn't Mr. Beast go through this thing?
Yeah, this is where Mr. Beast was when he was handing me money and shit.
What was it like growing up right on the beach?
Pretty crazy, yeah.
I don't know, whenever I think of a beach, it was like vacation for me as a kid. So to walk out your backyard and have literally a beach, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fun.
Let's keep
Every
this
day. Though my
freaking...
rule is, if someone shows up at the door with a gun, cop or not, I don't open the door. And they never gave us a ticket. Zero. I've had so many cops here, it doesn't mean anything. I've had guns in my face. He's had it. It's not fun. But who that works a normal job in America has had guns pointed at him playing a video game? This guy right here. And he's got balls this big because he's never whined, never cried. Getting swatted is real.
Yo, this is hot.
Hold on for dear life.
Yeah, just hang on to that. You won't fall. If you fall, you go.
Any tips?
Yeah, keep your feet up, bro, because you're just gonna bow down a little bit.
All right, boys. Subscribe, I guess.
Να, να, να.
After ziplining into the pool of Tfue, it felt like it was 2018, and we still had one more goal: get him to play Fortnite one more time. But before that, we followed him to a place he spends.
On the big boat, and for the time being, I'll.
Προφανώς, τι δεν θα είχε κότερο.
The fishing conditions were terrible.
Δεν θα
Honestly, we were worried
είχε
about convincing Tfue to queue up for one more game.
ελικόπτερα,
To a random island to wait for
κότερα,
Where'd you bring us?
I don't know, I brought the Eggmont key, dude. So we need to wait for the tide to get more
οικόπεδα.
aggressive, and then we're gonna catch crabs.
Θέλω ελικόπτερα.
I don't know.
Θέλω οικόπεδα.
What do you think the chances are we catch a fish today?
Only 50.
It's downloading, right?
I told my girlfriend to download it. She said it was downloading like an hour ago.
We're like, all right, shoot's down, we're not gonna do Fortnite. But then he's like, no, I'm down to play one game. 5K goes to our audience if you win.
Yeah, I got it.
Really? You got it?
I just want to get it over with.
This is an exclusive. So you guys are getting this. All you gotta do is subscribe.
I don't even
Oh
know
my
what
god,
the
the
app is
scam.
like.
I know he still got it, bro.
I feel like he does, but
Wait, am I running or no? Am I tripping? Wait, where the fuck do I land?
oh yeah, this is different.
You can drive the battle bus now, you know that?
See, bro, like they're just doing too much.
I feel like I just gotta win. I'm just gonna go somewhere low key.
Bro's gonna fucking just hide the whole game?
No, I'm not.
Το να μην παίζεις κάτι που σου πρόσφερε τόσο πολύ amount of gold και σου έφτιαξε όλο το career. Πώς γίνεται ρε φίλε να μην παίζει πλέον Fortnite όμως? Έστω στο free time σου. Μπορεί να μην έχεις, ναι, οκ, μεγάλωσες, αλλά πώς γίνεται να μην παίζεις το λίγο Fortnite? Τι κάνει δηλαδή? Αφού μεγάλωσες με αυτό ήταν το βασικό σου εισόδημα, ας πούμε. Δεν ξέρω. Και θα έχετε όλα τα OG skins αυτός, Φαντάζει να δεις Tifu killed you. Ακραίο. Ακραίο. Από το πουθενά, ξέρω. Α, όχι. Δεν παίζει από το account του. Τελεπών λέει. Όχι, user. Ό,τι να είναι, έκανε ένα καινούριο account.
Just like that too?
I don't even know what these guns are. Oh shit, I just shot a fucking AI. That's not good. These things gonna whoop my ass. Why were there guys over here, I wonder? Like, what were they doing? What is this? A double shotty? Is it good?
Not bad. It's better.
The AR felt like a laser, though. Wait, I heard a chest back here, though. Where the fuck's that shit at?
I've been playing some.
Oh, you been?
Oh, shit! Rivalries. What? There's a guy in front of me.
That was a lot.
Thanks for playing.
I got so much time, bro. Like, I might as well just go kill some. Oh, wait, this guy's here. The bounty, I think. There he is.
Εν τω μεταξύ βλέπετε πως παίζει. Που έχει όλα τα γραφικά μειωμένα. Στην ουσία είναι σαν να τσιτάρει κάπως. Ακόμα και με αυτές τις 4K κάμερες που τραβάνε. Κοίτα πως φαίνεται το gameplay του αυτή τη στιγμή. Χρώματα δεν έχει, γραφικά δεν έχει. Τα έχει όλα κατεβασμένα, όλα. Shadows, τίποτα δεν έχει.
Wait, that was a player? God, died so fast. Yeah.
Bro, what was he doing?
He was looking for me, I think, bro. He was coming to kill me. 34 people left? Shit.
5K in the books right here for all the people watching. This is big. You got a comment, by the way. Comment.
I'm gonna push.
I love that.
Πρώτο του gameplay και θα πάρει Victory Royale, ακραίο, ρε.
You can lean forward and go up with them.
What do you mean?
So you go up and you go forward.
Shit.
So people use them to fight or to fucking escape.
Of course. Bro, this game's actually like mad confusing now, bro. Like, what is, like, there's just so much shit.
7 kills, 20 people left.
Thank God that Fortnite hasn't seen me playing song and threw me to a lobby with straight drones. Let's make sure this guy enjoys his time back.
It was perfect. Tifu was on his way to get his one final win in retirement. Until...
Oh, damn. Oh, what?
Wait. Έχουμε τσαστάκι. Γρήγορα πριν έρθει κανένας και μας το πάρει. Bees και 10 crystals. Oh no. Ήρθε κάποιος και δεν έχει ολοκληρώσει το tutorial. Τέλεια.
What? Did my game just crash?
No.
Can I reconnect? No, bro, my game just crashed.
No way. They found out it was him.
Wait, they heard me. Wait, I can reconnect to the game, no?
I don't think so, no.
What? After all these years, they haven't added that feature?
No way, bro. There was 17 people left. No way, bro.
Α, ήδη βαρέθηκε, ρε. Ήδη βαρέθηκε στο game που του έφτιαξε την καριέρα.
He had to end on a win and see this through. We convinced him to play one final game. Crash or no crash. This was the moment.
Bro, Fortnite definitely knows it's him.
Bro, I can't jump out of the bus. Bro, what's going on? What is happening?
It's gonna force jump you.
I can't deploy my glider.
Bro, what is going on right now?
I mean, we just watched me play like a game completely normal. Bro, I can't shoot. Bro, what? It's not bound? How is that even possible?
Just reset your whole binds.
We brought him out of retirement for 2 games now. This is amazing.
Oh,
That's gotta be good.
A gold fucking whatever the fuck. Damn.
Oh shit, you got the goal, whatever the
People
fuck.
has a gold shotgun. It's over.
Do I even need shield if I have pizza? I just saw a guy.
Εντάξει, να σου πω την αλήθεια, τώρα και με τόσα bots και με τόσα new players, ειδικά άμα ξεκίνησε από ένα καινούριο account, τον έχει βάλει με όλους τους new bot players, ρε φίλε, οπότε είναι πολύ easy το Victory. Γιατί νομίζω και εγώ όταν ξεκίνησα, μου είχε φανεί πάρα πολύ παράξενο το πως έπαιρνα τόσα πολύ εύκολα wins. Φαντάζομαι τώρα και ένας pro player σαν τον Tifu να ξεκινήσει, είναι σαν να τσιτάρεις στην ουσία, άμα δεν παίζει από ένα pro account.
Someone doesn't know that retired TV's coming after them right now.
Bro.
I can't drive through this dog shit?
It's actually funny just watching him discover this shit for the first time, bro.
Here he is. Oh, he's in a car. Oh, he took a shot in the back.
Oh, it's the first time you even got shot.
Nicey.
This guy's blasting me like this, bro. The fuck is that? My car's cooked.
Alright, we got 12 people, 4 kills, 4 kills.
Who the fuck is that guy shooting in the back? I gotta go find that guy.
I don't know, he was on you though.
He was fucking lacing me from behind. I'm gonna find him. I need to eliminate him.
You kinda liking Fortnite? Do we plan to see him by chance?
I mean, the faster I kill these guys, the faster I can get off.
4 people left.
I'm nervous, bro.
Tifu still got it.
Ain't no way this guy did this. What? Stole my car and ran?
How did you do that? He said, fuck that. Oh my god.
Nah, we're getting his ass.
Where'd this guy go? I mean, he was right there. I blew the car.
Τι έκανε
Car,
κόρτεση.
Camaro. Shit.
Why?
The Hellcat, baby.
2 people left, bro.
I mean, one of
Σίγια.
them's that guy that ran, but like, where's the other dude at?
Where is this guy?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think this guy's in the backseat of my car. Bro,
Δεν
seriously.
περνάνε τα
You believe
βλακίες
it?
σου.
Bro, I'm telling you, this guy's in the backseat of the car, and he's waiting for me. He's hiding. See, the guy's got the car.
He was in the car, bro. He was in the car, bro. This whole time.
Hell, account agent, no. What the fuck?
Oh, that zone is deep out there.
Who the frick is this?
Real quick. Bro, what is with this guy in the car?
Yeah, these guys just really want to win. That's crazy.
Bro, is this actually
shooting each
so
other, I think.
long? Or did they?
Let's report.
Bro, I'm under the bridge. Oh, there's a zip line. We're chilling.
They're still fighting. Let's go. Come on.
Ο άλλος ακόμα κάνει το tutorial για μας δουλεύει. Τι κάνει τόση ώρα?
This is it.
He's using business. That's crazy. I can't see him.
1v1. Και το πήρε, λέει.
Dude, what the hell was that game? Just like that. That was crazy. I kept actually hitting my own key button. It stressed me out a little bit.
5K. It's over.
Nowadays, I'm too cool for a girlfriend.
You ever come back here and like stay here or not really?
Hell no. I don't even know whose bed this is.
We're going to Airbnb it for $1,600 a day. So
That would actually be not a bad play.
It's a streaming room.
Yeah, okay.
It's fucking so dumb.
Live your life like we die when the world ends. It's alright.
Και καλά. Ποιος θα μείνει εκεί πέρα για 1600, ρε, μας δουλεύουν όλοι. Μας δουλεύουν όλοι. Τι κάνει, ρε, bro? Perfect fly. Are you good? Jesus. Do you wanna play or leave? Εδώ ρε, εδώ. Ρε, πώς γίνεται κάποιοι άνθρωποι να μην ξέρουν καν ότι πρέπει να ανοίξουν αυτό εδώ για να προχωρήσουν? Δεν τους δείχνει τι βήματα πρέπει να κάνουν. Jesus! Περιμένω εδώ και 10 ώρες να τελειώσει το freaking tutorial. Τέλος πάντων, πάμε να ξαναδούμε βιντεάκια, I guess. Μέχρι να τελειώσει αυτός και άμα τελειώσει. Πες να μην τελειώσει και ποτέ. Revealing my 25 million Fortnite empire. Ποιος είναι αυτός?
Hey,
Cypher.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop recording me. Stop. Hey, why are you recording me?
Bro,
What are you doing? Stop.
chill. It's for the vlog.
Oh, it's for the vlog?
Yeah.
Come on in. Let me show you around. Welcome to my setup.
Ποιος είναι αυτός?
Yo, I'm recording a vlog. Can you do
Νομίζω
the
έχω
intro
δει
for
κάποια
me? I'm
βιντεάκια,
too
αλλά
lazy.
δεν τον ξέρω σαν Fortnite player.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's CypherPK. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how bad my hairline is in person as we go to get it fixed up at a local barbershop. I hope you guys enjoy.
We are back with another vlog. You guys loved the last one, so we're going to continue the series. Let's get started.
Filming a special video with Microsoft right here at Oni Studios HQ. But first, let me give you guys an update on how things are looking inside my stream room.
So it's been 5 years since I built my HQ, and a lot of you have been wondering what happened to the HQ. Well, it's still here. I just haven't really been using it as much because I moved a little bit further away. I do want to make it a goal of mine to be in here and record more content since you guys seem to really like it. So we did make some changes to the stream room, starting off with this wall of plaques. Now, I'm not no Mr. Beast, but 3 gold plaques and a diamond play button. Very, very happy with that. Of course, we got Cypher React.
Άρα, το κόλπο είναι κάνε όσα περισσότερα video channels μπορείς να πετύχουν όλα 1 εκατομμύριο plus subscribers. What the hell is happening? Γι' αυτό βλέπεις ένα μπαγλαμά τέτοιο τραχανοποιό εδώ πέρα Έλληνα. Τον έχω μπανάρει, εγώ δεν μπορούμε να το δούμε εδώ στο YouTube. Άμα το ψάξετε εσείς σίγουρα που κάνει κάτι Roblox videos, πόσα κανάλια έχει ο τυπάς ρε. Όλοι ακολουθούν αυτή εδώ το CypherK συνταγή, ας πούμε. Κατάλαβες. CypherK συνταγή. Κάνω 5-6 κανάλια στο YouTube. Όλα έχουν από 50.000 subs, 50.000 views. Όλα βγάζουν δηλαδή ανεξάρτητα από το άλλο κανάλι. Και σου δίνουν έξτρα παραδάκι, I guess. Yeah. Ρε τι κάνει. Άλλος μπήκε τώρα. Ο ραντεβού μπήκε τώρα. Ούτε ο ραντεβού μπορεί να παίξει μαζί μας. Ρε guys, φύγετε να παίξω μόνος μου. Ούτε μόνος μου δεν μπορώ να παίξω. Ούτε μόνος μου δεν μπορώ να παίξω, λέει. Το βλέπετε αυτό. Είμαι μόνος μου και δεν μπορώ να παίξω. Τζάμπα καθόμασταν τόση ώρα. Είμαι μόνος μου. This is crazy. This is crazy. Ο Forsaken μπήκε και εγώ βγήκα. Centro Diox. What? Ωραίο όνομα. What is that? Ποιος είναι αυτός όμως? Με αυτά και με αυτά θα ανοίξουμε και το άλλο chest, ρε. Θα περιμένω 1 ώρα εδώ. Match in progress, λέει πάλι. Jesus.
Say like Cypher Shorts is pretty close to 1 million subscribers. It's at like 750k. Maybe that'll be the 4th one, or will I revive Cypher Plays? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if I should. Over here, I have some really cool stuff. So I want to show you guys because companies send me cool things all the time. This one right here was really cool because before Lego launched, they sent a limited edition.
Λες να κάνω κι εγώ άλλο κανάλι.
And this is 5 of 225. So there's only 225 of these in the world, and I have the 5th one right over here. This was the box that my Diamond Play button came in, and YouTube actually surprised me. It was like a watch party for the Game Awards, and I had no idea that they were going to present me my Diamond Play button. And you guys might remember this. This was like the first time they brought back Fortnite OG for a month, and they it sent all the creators like this unique box, and when you open it, it actually shows my
Whoa.
first win ever in Fortnite OG. So it's like me reacting to one of my first wins, and there's all these like little like
Τι
dog
λες,
tags and
ρε.
memorabilia for Fortnite OG. So it's such a special time in Fortnite. Oh, don't worry about this.
Ακραίο,
Okay,
αυτό
listen,
ήταν
you guys remember, I
τέλειο.
did not buy this. This was sent to me when we did the PO box openings. Okay, the Chun-Li jokes in 2026. We're leaving it behind in 2025. God damn, all right. All right. Dude, I have all these random things from companies, from you guys. We got the Cypher PK pickaxe from my cosplay when my skin came out. Fortnite commissioned this. It's actually super, super sick. Some of you might not remember, but I did win this random award. Gaming Influencer of the Year 2021. Speaking of winning, I do remember me and Clicks and Rex won the Twitch Rivals in 2023, I believe, or 2024. It was a pretty big win for us. This is a part of the Fortnite Polo collaboration. So I did a whole thing with Polo, and I even did a stream with Polo G. So he did a lot.
Μπήκαμε μέσα, επιτέλους. Επιτέλους, κάποιος να παίξει μαζί μας. Χαλάρωσε και τώρα θα πεθάνει όμως ο καημένος. Νικήσαμε πάλι μπανάνα. Πήραμε πάλι μπανάνα, guys. Okay. Let's go. Έλα ρε, και είμαι τόσο κοντά, δεν το πιστεύω ρε φίλε. Οκ. Μπορεί να περιμένω actually μία ώρα για να το τελειώσουμε σήμερα το game. Πέντε θα μας πάει. Πάμε τώρα, θέλω να παίξω ξανά game. Και πως φαίνεται ο Sonic αυτός. Are you good, bro? Σου επιτίθεμαι από πίσω, κοτόπουλο. Easy. Πολύ easy. Just don't try to break my crystals. Όταν προσπαθείς να μου σπάσεις τα κρίσταλα, θα σε εκδικηθώ ακραία. Εγώ δεν παίζω έτσι. Και άλλο τετράλεπτο τώρα έχουμε, ρε. Τι να κάνω τώρα, αυτός παίζει να μην περιμένει. Παίζει να μην μας περιμένει.
and they gave me these shoes. It's massively this FBK pickaxe and backling. I do want to apologize to Heather. She did make this FBK. Some of my fingers got eaten, and I'm just like permanently sticking up the middle finger. Don't tell Nick 830. What? Oh, this is the cosplay. This is the CyberPK official cosplay, but we put it on this mannequin for the time being. Red Bull hooked me up with a bunch of Red Bull and fridges. It's been a very cool sponsorship. They do have me on the website as a Red Bull athlete, so I am considered officially a Red Bull athlete. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. That's what they have.
Τι athlete ρε, τι έχεις κάνει για να θεωρείς athlete? Τέσσερις, 5 οθόνες έχει, 6 οθόνες. Τι φάση ρε.
I will show you my new apartment and where I'm at now. I'm still in Austin if you're wondering. I do get a lot of stuff from brands and sponsors and companies that want to work with me. I got to figure out how to give those away too.
I'm going to come back here a little later for the production day with Microsoft, but first let me give you guys a glimpse into the storage room.
It's a little messy in here, but we've got a lot going on. We've got a lot of gaming computers right here with 3080s, 4080s, 5080s, 5090s. Got a lot of streaming equipment, motherboards.
Τι κάνει, τι τις κρατάει όλες αυτές τις κάρτες?
Oh, and one more thing. There's this big window here that actually shows my office back there. And I remember both my brother and Rex and even Abe have used this room to prank me while I'm streaming because they can actually see me, but I can't really see them. So it's actually like the perfect recipe for the like undercover or trolling. Like if you add up, it's still here. And you guys.
Δεν τον ξέρω αυτόν όμως. Δεν τον ξέρω. Δεν τον ακολουθούσα ποτέ για... Μήπως είναι από τους πιο νέους, καινούριους. Σαν τον άλλο με το καπέλο. Τον Nicky 30 ίσως.
Great macros, good amount of protein. Alright guys, welcome to my apartment. I'm going to show you guys around. First, you guys have to check in with the front desk.
Ρε, έχεις βγάλει τόσα εκατομμύρια και τρώσα πάλι από fast food. Έλεος. Τουλάχιστον έχεις γάτες, οκ. Okay. Ω, πανέξυπνο αυτό. Σου μαθαίνει τι παίζεις. Κοίτα. Γράφει π.χ. A, B, C, D, Φα, Λα, μινόρε. Τέλειο, τέλειο. Ποιος το σκέφτηκες? Ίσως να το βγάλω μια φωτογραφία αυτό. Με το πιάνο. Όχι, δεν θέλω να ξεκινήσω να παίζω. No. I cannot skip. We have to wait. Ωραία. Του έδειξα ότι και καλά περιμένω το τσιστάκι. Ωραία, μάλλον μας άκουσε, Α, οκ, εντάξει, έχει και σπιτικό φαγητό. Dr. Pepper όλα. Oh my god. Πρωτεΐνη και Coca-Cola, φίλε.
This is what you guys are used to seeing. Got the home setup. The monitors and webcam and lighting, essentially the same setup. Go XLR, same mouse and keyboard, all that good stuff. And of course, the most important part of my setup. My cat Levi. And I have a much bigger Red Bull fridge. Because Red Bull initially gave me a smaller fridge and it wasn't showing up well on camera. So they sent me a big fridge. And apparently, this is very rare. Like, you can't get a fridge like this. Of course, I still got my Naruto figure from Japan. And I got a lot of different anime and FORTNITE things.
Ποιος τα καθαρίζει όλα αυτά τα figurines? Εμένα πάντα αυτό ήταν ο προβληματισμός μου, γιατί δεν είχα.
I have a lot of different things. Like this is like the FORTNITE Chapter 2 remix medals. This little thing they sent me, this golden player touched by Midas, Naruto, JJK, Solo Leveling, some of my favorite animes to watch as well. We're doing FORTNITE collabs. Things with awesome chills here, keeps me company. And then if I ever get stressed out while playing FORTNITE, I can give him some pets and it relieves the stress. Pretty rare.
Oh my god, it looks so fluffy. FORTNITE Balenciaga, όντως. Έβγαλε Balenciaga, έχει βγάλει τα πάντα.
This was super dope, and there's a lot of cool things in there. Some ninja gears, outfits. Over here, I have a signed first edition comic of Invincible, signed by the creators of Invincible, and it's graded a 9.8 out of 10. Pretty cool, pretty dope. This is a part of the Invincible collaboration. And then, of course, I'm a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! So a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! cards, you know, like unopened and whatnot. I do have like a binder with a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! cards. Look at that.
Oh my god, ακόμη ένα τέτοιο που δεν έχω. Είχα κι εγώ ένα τέτοιο blog.
So this is a first edition, unopened, Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. Because it's unopened, it's actually worth $5,000, which is crazy. So I'm planning to hold on to this. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I was always a Yu-Gi-Oh! fan. Getting back to the HQ soft team.
Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! fan. Καλό. Ωραία, νομίζω ήρθε η ώρα να ανοίξουμε το chest. Πολύ καλός αυτός που μας περίμενε. What the hell, thank you. Εγώ δεν ξέρω αν περίμενα 5 λεπτά κάποιον για να παίξουμε. Centurio. Centrodiox. Σαν σένταρα ακούγεται. Προσπαθεί να μου κρέψει τα κρίσταλα, ρε. Γιατί προσπαθείς να μου κλέψει τα κρίσταλα? It won't work, bro. It won't work. Οκ, τώρα πήραμε μπανανίτσα, άρα θα το ανοίξουμε κατευθείαν αυτό το chest. Δεν νομίζω όμως να κάτσει, θα κάνει τη ζηλοκόφια αυτός. Κανένας δεν κάθεται μετά από τόσες πολλές ήττες. Πάντων Πάφι. Πάπι. Νο, μη βγαίνεις. Μη βγαίνεις, βγήκε, το είπα εγώ. Δεν πειράζει. Πάμε να σπαμάρουμε τον μποτάκι. Νομίζω έπαιξα με πάρα πολλούς players σήμερα, Καμία άλλη φορά on stream δεν μας έχει βάλει με τόσους πολλούς players. Ρε, πέθαναν τα ψαράκια μου κιόλας. Τι κάνει αυτό? Ακραία. Easy win. Και άλλη μπανάνα. Μετά έρχεται όμως insta crate. Αλλά νομίζω θα φάμε cap μετά εκεί. Κάπου εκεί θα φάμε cap. Πάμε να δούμε κανένα μεγάλο βιντεάκι ίσως. Oh no, we are so close. Μόνο 100 κρίσταλα θέλω, δεν το πιστεύω. Μόνο 100 freaking κρίσταλα. Και μόνο αυτό εδώ μπορούμε να περιμένουμε. Σιγά μην κάτσω 3,5 ώρες, guys. Ενώ το 40 λεπτά crate μπορούμε να το ανοίξουμε, I guess. Γιατί δεν θα το ξαναδούμε, ρε φίλε, το game αυτό. Δεν θα το ξαναστριμάρω. Εντάξει, λογικά θα βάλουν και άλλα updates κάποια στιγμή. Αλλά, yeah, it's okay, I don't know. Δηλαδή, κοίτα πόσο χώρο έχει να βάλεις εδώ και άλλα πράγματα. Έχει και τρίτο όροφο. Θα έπρεπε να μου το ανοίξει αυτό εδώ, να έχει chest εδώ πέρα. Anyways. Και το υλικοδρόμιο. Δηλαδή ούτε αυτό να μαζεύεις coins δεν είχε στην αρχή, αν θυμάστε. Ούτε αυτό δεν είχε. Μπορώ να κάτσω μέχρι τις 3.30 το πολύ. Μετά έχω κλείσει όμως. Easy win. Τι θα μου δώσει όμως? Οκ. 4,5 λεπτάκια crate. Οκ, το δέχομαι. Και instant crate. Τι έχει το instant crate? Δώσε μου crystals τουλάχιστον αρκετά. Όχι. Gold μου έδωσε περισσότερο. Wait, actually όμως θα μπορέσουμε να τα κάνουμε και τα δύο μαζί. Πάμε ξανά. Next.
With the team, and all of that led up to this final product showcasing my journey as a content creator. Starts a lot live streamer, mainly playing Fortnite, but I've done a lot throughout the last decade. Very first setup was honestly my dad's work laptop that I would sneak off with when he got back from work. He had a single monitor, it was just the laptop, so I actually did not know how many viewers were watching, and I couldn't even read the chat. So I kept having to tap in and out to see the chat and see how many people were actually tuning in. So there is a moment where I'd see that I had 40 people watching, and I was pretty excited about that number. It being my first live stream, I didn't have any expectations, but I'm glad people wanted to tune in and watch. My family initially was pretty supportive of me just creating content because it kept me busy and it was a good hobby, but once I started taking things seriously and they noticed that I wanted this to be my full-time career and job, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of try to put a stop to it. I grew up in a very traditional Middle Eastern household. My dad and mom both wanted me to be a software engineer or a doctor, and those were my only two options. So when I told them that I wanted to be a content creator and do YouTube and streaming for a living, own hand and getting a headset that was PC.
Δεν το ξέρω, αλλά η φάτσα του είναι πολύ γνωστή κάπως.
Fortnite even implemented it into the game itself. I created a new strategy, a second monitor, and I can actually read my chat while I'm streaming. I was playing Fortnite on stream, and I created a new strategy called the Trap Tower, which became
αυτός δημιούργησε αυτό το Trap Tower στο Fortnite.
extremely popular, and Fortnite even implemented it into the game itself. Fortnite completely changed not just my career, but my entire life. Up until it came out, I was a full-time streamer and content creator, but it was still very small time. I went from about 50,000 subscribers to 1 million in less than 4 months after transitioning into Fortnite, and then I started hiring editors, getting sponsors, and my entire business started to change. Every single day, I start off by talking with some members of my team, whether it's the YouTube production, game development, or sponsorships. After I'm done with my morning meetings, I'll get ready for a live stream and go live for about 4 or 5 hours. I'm streaming on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch, all to balance all the different facets of my job and personal life.
Προφανώς ρε, αυτή είναι η συνταγή. Να στριμάρεις κάθε μέρα, για συγκεκριμένες ώρες, συγκεκριμένη ώρα πάλι, να στριμάρεις παντού εννοείται. Αυτός είδες, έχει όλα τα platforms εκεί πέρα. Να έχεις 3-4 κανάλια. Τα ξέρουμε όλοι. Και να κάνεις ό,τι θέλουν sponsors, οι pet actors. Τι καινούριο game βγαίνει έτσι να το παίζεις επειδή πληρώνεσαι. Oh my god. Δεν θα μπορούσα ποτέ.
If you're a student, when you buy a PC, you're actually going to get 1 year of M365 Premium, 1 year of Xbox Ultimate Game Pass.
That was a bad video. Kinda didn't like it. Και το έκανε στο δικό του κανάλι. Oh my god. I didn't like it, guys. Δεν ξέρω ποιος ήταν κανένα αυτός. Το τσεστάκι το πήρα. Όχι, δεν το πήρα ακόμα. Οπότε πάμε να δούμε μια μίνι ταινία μεγαλοπούλες. Έρχονται και τα Χριστούγεννα τους ή άλλως. Όχι ρε, τι ξεκινάει λέει ο άλλος. Περίμενε με. Περίμενε με. Θέλω ακόμα 50 δεύτερα. Ούψ. Oh no. Τσίμα θα μας πάει. Πώς μπορώ να κάνω skip wait? Με V-Bucks προφανώς. Μόνο με 50. Α, μήπως είναι ανάλογα με την ώρα. Πόση ώρα κάνεις skip. Ίσως. Και επειδή είναι κάτω από 1 λεπτό, ίσως είναι 50 V-Bucks μόνο. Και πάλι δεν θα τα έδινα. Έχω μόνο 800. Πρέπει να αλλάξουμε το backpack, αυτό δεν ξέρω. Ίσως να βάλουμε το άλλο, το δικό του. Τώρα που το βλέπω, δεν μου αρέσει και πάρα πολύ. Let's go, shield ήθελα. Το ήθελα αυτό. 11! Thank you, Anza. Anza Stari. Έχει το Sonic, αλλά είναι χρυσός Sonic. Πώς το έχει αυτό? Oh no. Τον νίκησα. Και μας έβγαλε τετράλτα. Ας ελπίσουμε να φύγει, γιατί άμα δεν φύγει θα θέλει να παίξουμε. I was so better than you. Ή θα πρέπει να περιμένεις. Ναι, είναι πάλι 4,5 λεπτά. Ή θα αλλάξω σερβερ εγώ. Ωραία. Έκανε dislockout. Είναι τέλειο αυτό. Ότι τους νικάω τόσο εύκολα και απλά βγαίνουνε. Freedom Farms. What? That was it. Απλά μια γαλοπούλα ξεφεύγει.
Hello.
Hello.
Anyone home? Hello. I guess it's just me.
Freedom Farms δεν σημαίνει χαλάρωση για γαλοπούλες. No, χαίρεται, αλλά δεν είναι καλό.
All single turkeys, all single turkeys, all single. What happened? Uh-oh. Oh?
Τι έγινε στο τέλος, την έψησαν. No. What they didn't do to Garfield. Πάμε να το δούμε κι αυτό. Μουσικάρα είναι. Μουσικάρες έβαλε. Έχουμε ακόμα 1,5 λεπτάκι. Γιατί τι συνέβη στον Garfield?
Relatable, surly, and adorable.
Που τα κάνουν όλα αυτή την
Garfield
ταινία.
childhood memories of his creator, Jim Davis. And in the 40 years since we first met this lasagna-loving rascal, Garfield has become a global phenomenon, with yearly merchandising sales at an estimated... The world is going to end.
Α, ναι, το είδατε που έβγαινα στο TikTok, έτσι, κάτι cursed Garfields. Μινιατούρες και πλάσεις. Ισχύει, γιατί το κάνανε αυτό? Γιατί είναι όλα έτσι σαν δαίμονες Garfield?
I've been covering fandoms for a little while now, and what I enjoy about doing this is how when you stare at a fandom long enough, you begin to get this very distorted yet very honest reflection of its source material, the heart of The Simpsons, the descent of Sonic, the magnitude of Undertale. But then there's Garfield. Believe me when I say, what Garfield has become on the internet is the most bizarre fandom I've ever encountered. And I'm not even talking about Garfield porn here, although yes, there is totally that as well. And yes, I did have to fuck up my Google Analytics to find these. No, I'm talking about things far more bizarre, which
επειδή είναι φέρι και μιλάει. Oh no.
Alzheimer's group is a subreddit of 50,000 people reposting the same Garfield comic over and over and over, each member role-playing like this is the first time they've seen it. Relax John is an 8-part animated series in which a morbidly depressed John Arbuckle is dragged into a frightening alternate reality as he is subsumed by a demonic Garfield. I'm sorry, John. Actually, Jesus, no, we're not ready for I'm sorry, John. But maybe in like an hour. And maybe you've noticed the runtime for this video and are asking...
Όχι. Wait. Actually, ετοιμαζόμαστε για fight, guys. Ετοιμαζόμαστε για fight. Ουουι. Inspired Bones. What is this name, bro? Mr. Bones. I am with my backpack. Back to school. Back to school. Back to Minecraft. Θα του στείλω ένα από εκεί και ένα από εδώ. Δεν θα ξέρει τι να κάνει. Αυτή η στρατηγική λειτουργεί πάντα. By the way. I'm sorry, Mr. Bones. I'm sorry. Απλά, κοιτάξτε, είναι level 10 τα δικά μου και level 1 το δικό του. Οπότε δεν γίνεται να νικήσουν οι καινούργοι players. Και, oh no, φάγαμε cap. Φάγαμε cap, guys. Oh no, φάγαμε cap. Πήραμε μεγάλο chest τώρα. Πόση ώρα είναι? 1,5 ώρα γι' αυτό, άρα πρέπει να περιμένουμε 20 λεπτάκια τώρα για το άλλο. Αναγκαστικά θα φύγω. Και πάλι δεν είμαι σίγουρος άμα θα ολοκληρωθεί. Και πάλι δεν είμαι σίγουρος. Έφυγε και ο Mr. Bones. Oh no. Δεν ξέρω ρε φίλε. Να περιμένουμε όντως 20 λεπτά για αυτό το chest. Και αν μας δώσει μετά πάλι κανένα μεγάλο chest, τι κάνουμε? Είμαστε τόσο κοντά όμως ρε. Την τρέλα μου. Πάμε πίσω στο lobby, I don't know.
How could I possibly spend this much time on an idea that the subtle lowering of my father's eyebrows as I explained it to him communicated to me was something he considered a profound waste of time. Oh god, I was meant to make a video about Berserk this year. But I got lost.
Berserk?
Lost.
Berserker?
Who said Berserker? I've looked deep into Garfield and I have seen things horrible, frightening, and beautiful, including what is to me, and I'm serious here, the greatest piece of fan art ever created. And I would like to show it all to you. So join me on this long and strange journey as we take our first step and ask a question. How the fuck did we get here from a cartoon cat who likes lasagna? Or, to put it another way, what is Garfield? So, I want to be honest here, in that unlike the other fandoms I've covered for this channel, I've never really been that into Garfield. That's not to say I dislike Garfield, it's just that no, I'm not doing this! I do not need to humiliate myself for your amusement! That's not to say I dislike Garfield, just that I was never really into him as a kid, and that hadn't changed up until this video. And so, my first call was to go looking for articles on the appeal of Garfield. But what I found was kind of the opposite. Multiple headlines and videos about how Garfield is not funny and even was never meant to be. How a lot of Garfield, and trust me, I read a lot. Quote he gave 40 years ago and is not really reflective of the dude of whom I have watched and read many interviews, who is the kind of person who still talks about wanting to make the whole world laugh with a single joke. But if I'm right about this, then why do so many people find Garfield unfunny? And that being the case, how has it survived for 40 years? I'm about to be very generous with my interpretation of Garfield, but I think it's important to do that because we need
Έλατε, γιατί είναι γάτα, ίσως. Είναι σαν τον Αρκά. Κάπως έτσι θα λέγαμε.
I do think, however, it's worth looking at the reasons why Garfield's humor gets such a polarizing reaction from people. Jim Davis's previous comic before Garfield was Norm the Gnat, which ended in 1975. He then spent 3 years doing, well, nothing. That, or the one before that, or the one before that, or the one before that, but the one before that. Barring the old gods of media like Mickey Mouse and Peanuts, Garfield has been around longer than practically any relevant character in pop culture today. And you can imagine this lazy, rude, anti-authority cat being a little more outrageous in the late 70s than
Damn, είναι τόσο παλιός ο Garfield.
Hedgehog would have seemed wild and countercultural in their day.
Πιο παλιός και από το Sonic.
That's exactly what happened to Garfield. We are just not old enough to remember it. And Jim Davis has even talked about this in interviews. That said, I don't think the appeal of Garfield is its humor. I think it's Garfield. And what I mean by this is that we all want to be Garfield. Please don't click off the video, I promise I have a point to make here. Think of everything you consider imperfect about yourself. Physical, mental, emotional, whatever. Any perceived flaw that makes you feel shame. Now, imagine an alternate version of yourself where those flaws still existed, but you just accepted them. You are in perfect harmony with who and what you are, and that's it. And well, that's Garfield. Garfield is lazy, he's gluttonous, he's selfish, and people
ισχύει, επειδή το μόνο που θέλουμε να κάνουμε είναι να κοιμόμαστε, να τρώμε λαζάνια, να τρώμε γενικά. Είμαστε όλοι Garfield.
And that is some seriously aspirational levels of confidence. But the real genius of the character is he also has all these little traits that allow us to see ourselves in him. Garfield
είναι η σκέψη του μέσου καθημερινού ανθρώπου, I guess.
These are all very general, but what that means is that no matter who you are, there's probably something in Garfield you're going to be able to relate to. And that relatability, combined with his more aspirational quality, creates this simple but massively appealing cocktail of a character. And I think it's the strength of that appeal that's let Garfield survive for 40 years. And I just want to note here that for as messed up as things are going to get this video, there is a lot of really cool and wholesome Garfield fan art from people who just earnestly enjoy Garfield's comic and his world. This super start to get strange. Entirety of Pokemon as Garfield, and I don't know how many there are because my browser crashes before I hit Gen 1.
The entirety of Pokemon.
But it's not just Garfield's character.
Ο Garfield έχει μπει μέσα στο Fortnite όμως, αυτό είναι το ερώτημα.
And rarely if ever touches off current events.
Δεν ξέρω αν έχει μπει. Garfield in Fortnite. Skin concept δεν έχει μπει ποτέ. What? Official Fortnite X Garfield. Promotional image από AI. Γιατί? Τι beef έχουν τώρα αυτοί? Γιατί δείχνουν feet? Αυτό θα ήταν ωραίο. Αυτό μπορεί να το έπαιρνα. Λαζάνια glider. Λαζάνια lobby. Να τρώει τα λαζάνια, την εφημερίδα. Όντι backplaying, όχι. Εγώ τον Garfield θα το έβαζα σαν sidekick, guys. Δεν θα έβαζα τον Όντι. Άντε, ίσως και τον Όντι σαν sidekick. Ή σαν backplaying και να γαυγίζει, ξέρω. Γιατί όμως? Why?
And since even the early days of the internet and social media, people have been taking these comics and changing them. Something that's possible because of how simple a formula they work off, with each comic following the same three-panel structure. The first panel establishes the scenario. It is the morning and John and Garfield have just woken up. The second panel is the setup. Garfield is in an unusually good mood. And the third panel, the punchline. Garfield is in a good mood because he drinks too much coffee. With the exception of the longer Sunday comics, this is how Garfield works. And just like the character himself, that simplicity was critical in letting as wide an audience as possible understand and enjoy Garfield. But it's also that simplicity that made the comic so infinitely memeable. It is shockingly easy to make your own Garfield comic from splicing together different establishment, setup, and punchline panels. And you can even try this yourself with the random Garfield comic generators. And it's that malleability that's led to scores of
Garfield comic generators. Oh my god, AI έχει ξεφύγει, ρε.
An unusual amount of these still work, but my personal favorite is the same, except the final panel now being Garfield being flung from a window.
Τι άλλο μπορείς
However,
να
in
κάνεις,
time,
δηλαδή?
people also got much weirder than that. For example, silent movie Garfield. Garfield with one extra beat panel. Garfish. Garfield with pixel art from that one really bad Garfield game that never released outside Japan. Garfield, but the drawing keeps getting lazier. Multiple choice Garfield. Garfield, except all the comics from 1978.
Multiple choice Garfield.
Real life Garfield. Uncomfortably close Garfield. Garfield evolves into noise. Two Garfields. Polarized Garfields, you get the idea.
What the hell is
this iconic
happening?
and character communicated through this simple but infinitely consumable and recreatable medium. And I think this does go away in helping us understand the existence of something like r/Alzheimer's group. While there is something undeniably cruel about this subreddit, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think there wasn't something interesting and even a little poetic here. The idea that someone's final tether to their own reality is something as simple but recognizable as a Garfield comic strip, and the tragedy of when even that too starts to fade. However, this still doesn't take us any closer to understanding why Garfield on the internet is so... You know, and I think a real easy answer here is it's just the
Garfield is cursed.
art out of something so simple and everyday. But as you may be able to tell from the remaining runtime on this video, I disagree. I think there's genuinely something darker and stranger at play here. And I'm not even talking about the official Garfield's very occasional descent into something weirder.
Τι ακούγεται σαν να κάνει radio εκπομπή, ρε. Έχει βάλει πολύ deep voice στο μικρόφωνο.
The term meme was still years away of themselves before you had even finished watching the video. And what I mean by this is that each video of SIDEKICK is broken into three sections. The first is a live-action recreation of a Garfield comic. The second, the actual comic on which the first section was based. And the third, and by far strangest section, would take the footage of section 1 and change it. So this would become this. Music video parodies, video game references, 2008 internet humor. Lasagna Cat was taking Garfield comics and contorting them into all kinds of strange things, but tantalizingly, underneath the sheer wackiness of it all, there was what felt like a very subtle disdain towards Garfield. There was something a little grotesque and uncanny about these shrunken actors with their sagging costumes and human hands, each skit ending with the same canned droning laughter that nearly highlighted the mundanity of these jokes.
Garfield, this is a diagram of the food chain. You're here, and that's a mouse down there. Any questions?
Where's pizza?
But the strangest part was how each video ended on a bizarre tribute to Jim Davis. This is one of the first really unusual things I noticed about the Garfield fandom.
Bailamos.
Garfield's creator, Jim Davis. And I say unusual because in every other fandom I've covered, I don't know if I remember a single instance of the creator of those properties ever appearing in fanworks. But Garfield is different.
Πρέπει να μάθουμε και λίγο lore από Sonic. Δεν μπορεί να παίζουμε τώρα όλη τη σεζόν με Sonic για να μην ξέρουμε τίποτα από Sonic.
To the best of my knowledge, Lasagna Cat was the first instance of this happening. So why? Well, if that was a question you asked in 2008, you'd be waiting a long time for an answer. After the initial upload day of Lasagna Cat, the channel would go silent. Days would become weeks, weeks would become months, and months would become years. And without a single update, Lasagna Cat began to fade into internet obscurity. Which is why it was such a shock when a full 9 years later, a new video appeared on the Lasagna Cat channel, ending with the text, Telephone Sex Survey, February 9th, 2017.
What the
This
fuck?
was the beginning of a strange rabbit hole of videos
What?
that led 2 weeks later to a bizarrely high production trailer that claimed if you called a toll-free number and left your name and the number of sexual partners you'd had, a Garfield web series would return. 2 weeks later, and boom. Just like they had 9 years ago, 11 new videos were simultaneously uploaded to Lasagna Cat. While they were similar in format to the old videos, they were also so different. The first of the new videos begins as any typical Lasagna Cat would, parodying an old comic where Garfield steals John's pipe. But what's waiting for us at the end of the video isn't a re-splicing of the footage from section 1 that we're used to, but a man claiming that this simple
Μήπως του έκανε καμιά μήνυση και σου λέει, α, έτσι είσαι, θα το πάω Dark Garfield, ξέρω εγώ, παροδίες.
Gradually expanding outward to the immortal nature of art and mimetic culture and its ability to transcend humanity and even the laws of space and time. And this goes on for an entire hour, and it might just be the best video on the internet. And somehow, this was just the beginning. Whereas the original end-of-video skits had that charming amateur with a green screen feel, what waited for us in the third act of these videos now were shockingly high-production short films that transformed simple Garfield comics into these elaborate, surreal stories. Jokes about Odie getting a bag stuck on his head morphed into these strange tales of the bag-headed Odie becoming a fashion icon before taking his own life and being condemned by Garfield to a hell filled with demonic John Arbuckle chimeras. Gags where John uses the wrong shampoo would now be mutated into, well, this is what they would turn into, and I don't want to describe this. Those simple Garfield jokes
What
now being
the
contorted
hell
to
is
the
going
bizarrest
on?
extremes, contrasting the arguable mundanity of the original with this just wild insanity. And even more pronounced this time was that subtle malice towards Garfield, each video still ending on those bizarre tributes to Jim Davis. But it's only in the final video ever uploaded to the channel that Lasagna Cat would reveal what it truly was. And that video was called Sex Survey.
4 years ago? Wait, what?
Results. Sex Survey Results begins with John Arbuckle entering his living room and sitting down to read the paper. But he hears a knock on his door and... Who's there? To which he answers, revealing a strange white mannequin. The mannequin giving its name and number of sexual partners.
Hey, my name's Garrett Smith, and I have had exactly 0 sex partners.
Before the scene freeze frames and pulls out to reveal a near identical scene and would begin again, but now with Garfield instead of John. The same events play out, only with a new piece of audio detailing someone else's name and number of sexual partners, and we cycle again, but now with Odie. And then again, back to John, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and this continues for nearly 5 hours, all of which I have watched, most of which I did live on stream. Watching Sex Survey Results in its entirety is exhausting, an exercise in mind-numbing repetition. But I think there's something kind
For
of
5 hours, bro? You watched an freaking Garfield iceberg from 5 hours? Εν τω μεταξύ, δεν θέλω να το ανοίξω αυτό τώρα. Γι' αυτό που σας είπα και στην αρχή που ετοιμάζω. I'm watching so many icebergs. So many icebergs για αυτό το βίντεο που ετοιμάζω. Οπότε το νιώθω. Είμαι έτσι κι εγώ ακριβώς. Το κεφάλι μου είναι έτσι ακριβώς. I'm like
listening
that.
to all these different recordings of people communicating what is, to many, a pretty sensitive piece of information, and it's weird and even a little uncomfortable. But soon, you just go numb to it. After an hour, it stops feeling weird, and after hours, it stops feeling like anything, because anything repeated enough times loses all meaning. Not unlike a comic strip running day after day after day after day after day for 40 years. And it's at that point that it feels its strongest.
Το αποκρυπτογράφησε. Ότι και καλά γίνεται dull μετά. Και ασπρόμαυρο. Χάνει την ουσία. Δεν έχεις προσωπικότητα. Δεν έχεις κάτι καινούριο να δείξεις. Είναι ξανά και ξανά μια επανάληψη. Ίσως είναι και σαν το FORTNITE που πέφτεις συνέχεια. Αλλά όχι, εκεί πέρα στο FORTNITE αλλάζει το map. Οπότε ας το καλύτερο το διαγράφω.
You are completely numb to whatever is happening. That Lasagna Cat hits you with what has to be one of the most infamous and shocking pieces of footage that is allowed to exist.
Wait, μου αρέσει αυτό το βιντεάκι.
The scene has descended into night. The mannequins have begun to take strange and grotesque shapes, and John answers the door one final time, only to be faced with John Arbuckle 2. John Arbuckle 0. And immediately, this second John ages about 30 years.
Whoa, this is dark. Wait, what? What happened? Γιατί γέρασε? Ότι περάσαν όλα αυτά τα χρόνια, έκανες όλα αυτά τα αστεία ξανά και ξανά. Τύπου αστεία, τα επαναλαμβανόμενα τύπου αστεία. Και χάθηκε όλη η ζωή σου στην ουσία. Πέρασε. Χάθηκε. Από τη μια στιγμή μέσα στην άλλη. Γέρασες. Μεγάλωσες. Είσαι με το ένα πόδι στον τάφο πλέον. Έχασες, στην ουσία έχασες τη ζωή.
Frightened and confused, he finds a dried out husk of a cat, which teleports him to a massive ravine,
The
where he
hell?
encounters a strange naked shaman who attacks him before teleporting behind
What the hell is this video? Θέλω να το δω αυτό το βίντεο.
him and whispering silent words in his ear, before John collapses into a pile of worms and dirt. The shaman roars, and we hard cut to a young girl screaming in the bathroom of a public school. We're given extreme close-ups of her birthing a scared child, and she steps back and stares down in horror before saying something in Polish.
Ο τυπάς έκανε ταινία ολόκληρη.
Gdy dziecko jest coś z ciemności. Ja porodziłam ludzkie przekleństwo.
She leaves, and we get one final
Δες Βιρτζάνια.
Now, a ginger cat is perched beside it. We cut, the cat is now gone, and the baby opens its eyes before the screen.
No way! Δεν μπορώ να το δω αυτό live.
Well, that was a nightmare, but I actually think that Lasagna Cat
Guys, πρέπει να βρούμε...
interesting to see.
What? Wait. Lasagna Cat Channel. Υπάρχει τέτοιο channel. Lasagna Cat. 5 ώρες βίντεο το έχει σε server results. Guys, μπείτε δείτε το τώρα, δεν γίνεται. Τι έχει κάνει? Και έχει μόνο 300.000 subscribers. Έχει κάνει τέτοια παραγωγή, τέτοια ταινία. Τέτοια αφιέρωση στο Garfield. Και δεν έχει καν 1 εκατομμύριο. Δεν είναι πολύ δημοφιλής ο Garfield μάλλον. Wait, ίσως να το δω αυτό. Actually, θα το κρατήσω. Όχι. Πάτησα τώρα.
Well, that was a nightmare, but I actually think that Lasagna Cat has something really interesting to say. But to get there, we're gonna have to do a little legwork. Earlier in this video, we asked, what is Garfield? But now, I would like to ask, what is Garfield? Considering I'd had little history with Garfield, I knew to answer this, I would need to immerse myself in him, to understand the comic on an intimate level. And so, I committed to reading 400 Garfield comics. But not just that, I wished to study them. And so, I didn't just read Garfield, I collected data on Garfield. I noted every observation I had in a large Google spreadsheet. And through this, I established that Garfield was made up of roughly 11 different kinds of jokes, such as humor derived from the fact that Garfield is lazy/gluttonous, absurdist humor, relatable humor, other humor, which were either recurring jokes too sporadic for their own category, but mainly jokes about Garfield doing things a cat would do, the joke being that he's a cat, or jokes about Garfield doing things a cat would not do, the joke being he's a cat. These are my least favorite kind of Garfield joke. I measured for a variety of other variables, such as the amount of fourth wall breaks, which was 4, or instances of Garfield becoming suicidal, which was 2, or how many times the comic made me laugh, which was precisely once, and it was this one. After many hours of
Μόνο μία φορά με έκανε να γελάσω, λέει.
I sought to answer a single question that would surely help me understand Garfield, and by extension...
Wait, this is actually very smart. Λες να το κάνω κι εγώ για το βιντεάκι που ετοιμάζω. Να κάνεις ένα PowerPoint τύπου και να κρατάς σημειώσεις εκεί πέρα.
Lasagna Cat. What was the most common type of joke in Garfield? And when I tabulated the results, what I saw shook me. What was I looking at? This couldn't be possible. And I grew concerned. The 400 comics I had pulled from were a combination of every comic on the Twitter account Random Garfield, which algorithmically pulls 3 Random Garfield comics every day, as well as this YouTube video ranking the top 100 Garfield comics. Perhaps this video was a mistake, its author's biases tainting my study, so I proceeded to read 200 more Garfield comics, chosen completely at random from Garfield's web archive. I tallied the numbers again, and no, impossible. This time the results were even more pronounced. Was I subconsciously selecting Garfield comics to affirm my own biases? I couldn't allow this. So I committed to reading an entire year of Garfield, each month being selected from 3- and 4-year intervals across Garfield's 4 decades, bringing my total number of read Garfield comics to 956. But then I was struck with an idea. What if I committed to reading every Garfield comic
speedrun στο Garfield?
Would be pure, complete, and indisputable. This is when I encountered a problem. When I sought out the estimated total number of Garfield comics in existence, that number was 14,000. But how was there that many? This video was already taking far too long. And at this point, I'd already spent several days reading Garfield comics, and yet somehow I had only consumed 6.83% of all Garfields. For not the last time this video, the very concept of Garfield began to feel gargantuan.
Guys, και να ξεδέψετε όλοι σας στη ζωή, να βλέπετε Garfield δεν σας φτάνει. Τόσο πολύ amount of content έχει βγει πλέον. Νομίζω στο οτιδήποτε δεν ισχύει αυτό. Κάποτε, όταν ήμουν μικρότερος, ήθελα να δω όλες τις ταινίες. Είναι χαζό, ρε φίλε, να κάτσεις να το σκεφτείς αυτό. Ήθελα να δω όλες τις horror ταινίες, actually. Όχι όλες τις ταινίες, γιατί οι ταινίες μπορεί να έχουν βγει π.χ. και Barbie μικρή τραγουδίστρια, ξέρω εγώ, ή ξέρεις, μελό ρομαντικές και τα που δεν με ενδιαφέρουν κάτι τέτοιο. Δεν γινόταν όμως. Και όποιος ψάξει δικό μου iceberg lore, μπορεί ακόμα να υπάρχει κάπου εκεί έξω το account εκείνο που έψαχνα παντού στο ίντερνετ για ταινίες και ρωτούσα και ενδιαφέρον. Δεν θα πω κάτι παραπάνω. Πάντως είναι κομμάτι του iceberg του δικού μου iceberg. Ήθελα να δω όλες τις ταινίες, φίλοι, ήταν ακραίο.
I read up on sample sizes and learned that my current yield of Garfield comics will leave me with a margin of error of about 1.5%, and this is widely considered acceptable. I sigh and proceed forward. I tally the final numbers and rank each strain of Garfield joke from 11 to 1. The results frighten me. I am now going to share this specific breakdown with you because I need you to see what I see. Before we begin, I want you to ask yourself a question. What do you think is the most common type of joke in Garfield? And I want you to hold on to that guess as we proceed down the list. At number 11, we have jokes centered around Irma, and how she's bad at running her business. These jokes make up just 0.42% of Garfield. Just above that, at number 10, with 0.5%, were jokes based around Garfield's girlfriend Arlene. At number 9, with 1%, was humor derived from how much Garfield hates Nermal. At number 8, with 2.3%, is comedy conveying Garfield's hatred of spiders. At number 7, with 4.5%, was relatable humor. This was the first major surprise to me. I had assumed that a cat whose entire branding was built on one simple, relatable quote would have more relatable humor in its comic. I was wrong, and it wouldn't be the last time. At number 6, at 4.7%, was whimsy derived from Garfield's abuse of Odie.
Αυτό εγώ θα έλεγα, και εγώ αυτό θα έλεγα. Ότι κάνει bullying στο σκύλο. Για να δούμε τι ποσοστό είναι. Νομίζω θα είναι το μεγαλύτερο ποσοστό, να πειράζει το σκύλο, ξέρω εγώ. Αυτό είναι το καλύτερο το αστείο.
Number 5 with 13.7% was 6 at 4.7%.
4.7? You freaking kidding me?
Weirdest humor. At number 4 with 16.8% are jokes based on Garfield being lazy or gluttonous, and again, for obvious reasons, I was shocked not to see this further up the list. At number 3 with 17.4% is other. These are the kinds of jokes I do not like. And at number 2 with 18.8% is a mystery category that I will reveal much later in the video for dramatic effect. Now, before I unveil number 1, I want to stop and ask you again, what do you think is the most common type of joke in Garfield? At number 1, and by far the biggest shock on the list, was a category I never even would have guessed existed. And it's called John is Pathetic. John Arbuckle is 30 years old. He lives alone, has no real friends outside his dog and cat, and is constantly lonely. And these are all things that the Garfield comic takes joy in ridiculing. A typical John is Pathetic gag works like this. John says he's not going to call women for dates anymore, that he's going to wait for them to approach him. We see him waiting, and then we see him waiting what appears to be several months later. Jokes like this are very common, not just in how women find John actively repulsive, but in how he is pathetic and should be ridiculed. And you can see this in how the comic portrays his intelligence, his hobbies, his fashion sense, to even his physical strength and inadequacy in anything that could be considered remotely masculine. Across nearly 1,000 comics, I measured 0 cases of John showing any admirable qualities, meaning whereas Garfield is something to be aspired to, John is something to be laughed at. Even when John did find a girlfriend in Liz 28 years into Garfield's run, and only after fans begged Jim Davis to end John's loneliness, he's still treated as this pathetic character. And I think there's something kind of sad about that. A person whose only purpose is to be ridiculed and to be trapped in that existence for 40 years. And where this gets even sadder is when we start to consider the comic from John's perspective.
Δεν βρήκε ποτέ την ευτυχία. Guys, δηλαδή, πριν δούμε και το υπόλοιπο, ο Garfield είναι και λίγο σαν... flashback. Είναι και λίγο σαν ένα μέρος του μυαλού του John, ή του μυαλού μας, γενικά όλων μας, που είναι σαν να σου λέει «Α, δεν θα καταφέρεις τίποτα, δεν θα κάνεις... καλύτερα να ξαπλώσω και να φάω, δεν πειράζει, it's okay. Δεν χρειάζεται να κάνω κάτι άλλο σήμερα. Το μόνο που θέλω είναι να φάω λαζάνια, ξέρω εγώ, και να κάτσω και να δω τηλεόραση». Damn, βγάζει λίγο νόημα. Wait. Πριν δούμε το υπόλοιπο, γιατί είναι και πάρα πολύ, εγώ λέω να κλείσουμε το Fortnite. Νομίζω θα έχει περάσει αρκετή ώρα τώρα για να ανοίξουμε το chest. Αν είμαστε τυχεροί. Μπορεί να μας πάρει πάλι αρκετή ώρα, να ξέρετε. Κανένα 10 λεπτό, 20 λεπτό. Μέχρι να βρούμε κι άλλα chest. Γιατί αποκλείεται ένα μόνο chest να μας δώσει όλα αυτά που χρειαζόμαστε. Oh no. Ραφαέλ. Για να δούμε. Yes, άνοιξε. Let's go. Το άλλο είναι ακόμα μία ώρα. Είναι μία ώρα έξτρα, guys. Δεν θα κάτσω μία ώρα. Είπαμε μέχρι τις 3.30. Ω, 2.000 σχεδόν. Σχεδόν. Δεν το πιστεύω. Έλα ρε φίλε, σχεδόν τα ολοκλήρωσα όλα. Λοιπόν, δυστυχώς δυστυχώς θα την πληρώσει ο Ράφα. Δυστυχώς ρε φίλε, τώρα θα τον ξεσκίσουμε σε δευτερόλεπτα. Θέλω να δω ποιο θα είναι το επόμενο chest. Και θα ολοκληρώσουμε και το... Oh no, δεν θα είναι καλό chest guys. Μάλλον θα χρειαστεί να περιμένουμε. Δεν το πιστεύω. Για τόσο λίγο, μόνο για 40 crystals. Όχι, δεν ξέρει καν ότι δεν πρέπει να βαράς τα monsters. Δεν πειράζει, τώρα δεν μπορώ να περιμένω Ράφα. I'm sorry Ράφα, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you have to pay for epics mistakes. I'm sorry. Oh no. Θα κάνει dislog off, είμαι σίγουρος. Κοίτα, τουλάχιστον ολοκληρώσαμε ακόμη ένα... Όχι, δεν το πήρα. Δεν το πήρα το pass. Θέλω ακόμη ένα fight, wait. Θέλεις να ξαναπολεμήσουμε. Όντως. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. Κάτσε να ανοίξω λίγο την μπανάνα. Θα μου δώσει τίποτα καλό. 200... Το δέχομαι. 200 gold είναι 200 gold. Ωραία, ας του δώσουμε καρδούλα. Ας του δώσουμε καρδούλα. Είναι καλούλης. Get out of here, bro. I will burn your ears. Ah. Άντε, σου αφήνω αυτό το κρίσταλο. Σου πήρα ένα, σου δίνω ένα. Είδες, είμαι καλός. Αλλά νίκησα, δυστυχώς. Δεν χρειάζεται να κάνω τίποτα άλλο. Ολοκληρώσαμε και το pass. Let's go. Μας έδωσε και ένα 4 λεπτό τσεστάκι. Νομίζω δεν έχω άλλα τώρα passes που θέλω. Το μόνο που μπορούμε να κάνουμε τώρα είναι να κυνηγήσουμε gold. Ό,τι μου δίνει περισσότερο gold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? Ρε θέλει πάλι. Are you crazy? Δεν έχω χώρο. Δεν μπορώ να παίξω μαζί σου. I cannot open the chests. Για να τσεκάρουμε λίγο. Πού μπορώ να το βάλω? Αυτό έχουν όλα charms, Μπορώ να τελειώσω και τον Remy. Έχουν όλα charms. Let's go. GG's guys, τα τερμάτισα όλα. Δεν θέλω τίποτα άλλο. Δεν θέλω ούτε καρδούλες, ούτε χιόνι. Οπότε πάμε να αλλάξουμε ένα pass. Να δούμε τι μας δίνει τώρα περισσότερο gold. Wait, what is this? Αυτό εδώ τι είναι? Όχι, είναι με V-Bucks. Νομίζω αυτό εδώ μας δίνει περισσότερο gold. Και gold και gems. Θα πάω με αυτό εδώ. Όχι, είναι κλειδωμένο. Σε 4 μέρες. Oh no. Ωραία, θα βάλω αυτό τότε. Δεν μπορώ να παίξω. Πρέπει να βγεις. Oh man. Δεν θέλω να τον κάνω να περιμένει τώρα. Θα βγω εγώ, δεν πειράζει. Πάμε, ούτως ή άλλως είναι 2 λεπτάκια, πόσο είναι. Πάμε να συνεχίσουμε λίγο το iceberg.
Across that same range of comics, I measured 156 instances of John displaying some kind of negative emotion or mental anguish, anger, depression, lethargy. But if you're a casual reader of the comics, it might never feel like that, as whenever John does begin to sink into despair, Garfield is there to deliver a witty punchline and diffuse the tension. But here is where we start to get into the very strange nature of reality and Garfield. See, as the audience, as the readers of this comic, we can experience Garfield's thoughts through the visual device of thought bubbles. But critically, this is not the case for John. Across every Garfield comic I read, I didn't record a single instance of John ever directly reacting to Garfield's thoughts in a way that couldn't be explained by him intuiting Garfield's body language and expression. And that information is critical because it means the reality we are experiencing and the one John is experiencing are entirely different. And this brings us to a question. What is it really like being John Arbuckle? On the 13th of February 2008, a Garfield fan comic was uploaded to Tumblr, and it looked just like a regular Garfield comic, but with one critical difference. The first panel depicted John sitting alone with the dialogue, "I've done things in my life that I regret." The second panel shows nothing, just John, his remorseful silence unbroken. The final panel of the comic punctuated by nothing, just a slight shift in John's expression, like his regrets are washing over him. What this was just a regular Garfield strip with one key difference. Garfield had been removed, and because of the very specific way John and Garfield communicate, the comic still works. But whereas before, Garfield's punchlines could distract us.
And I've done things that I regret, but mainly I've done things you regret. Είδατε, guys, άμα βγάλεις τον Garfield είναι σαν να μιλάει μόνος του, ρε φίλε. Ο Garfield είναι ένας φανταστικός χαρακτήρας στο μυαλό του. Oh my god, δεν το είχα σκεφτεί ποτέ αυτό. Θέλουμε Fortnite X Garfield. Και να είναι cursed Garfield σαν το Poppy. Σαν το Poppy Monster. Or something like that. Και βλέπεις, δηλαδή μόνος του τα λέει ο Garfield, μόνος του τα σκέφτεται, μόνος του γελάει επίσης. Που γελάει κιόλας η φάτσα του. Damn.
From John's misery, that's no longer
That's
the case.
crazy.
And
Είναι όντως sad. Είναι πολύ sad χωρίς τον Garfield. Oh, are we okay? Are we back?
Garfield minus Garfield, which lets us experience the true
Garfield minus Garfield. A new whole chapter. A new whole era.
crushing reality of John. And some of these comics are really haunting. There's one in particular that is either very John. And some of these comics
No. This is bad.
are really haunting. There's one in particular that is either very hopeful or very devastating, depending on your perspective, where John says, "We can't do anything about the past, but we can do something about the future," before he just disappears. Garfield minus Garfield was not the first instance of people removing Garfield from the comic to produce this kind of effect, but it was what popularized the idea online that there may be something very wrong with John Arbuckle. And over time, other fan works began to explore this in similar ways. Realistic Garfield, for example, conveyed similar themes by just replacing Garfield with a realistic cat who could not talk, as did fan comics like Arbuckle, while animations like Meat Canyon's Lasagna brought the idea of John's fractured reality even further, depicting John as a frightening, delusional lunatic who holds his terrified victims captive and forces them to play the part of Garfield and
What
Woody.
the freak is this? Παίζει όντως να είναι serial killer ο John Arbuckle, guys. This is cursed. I don't like this iceberg. Oh no no. Λέτε να το ψάξουμε. Αυτά θα τα δω off stream, guys. Δεν γίνεται να τα δούμε on stream αυτά. Πώς λέγεται? Like Meat Canyon. Jesus. No way. Πριν 5 χρόνια. Where is it? Μήπως το διαγράψανε? Α, μπράβο, το Meat Canyon είχε κάνει και για τον Κέισο. Το είχα δει αυτό. Κάνει γενικά για όλους βιντεάκια. Δεν το βρίσκω, guys. The hell. Αποκλείται να είναι αυτό. Anyways. Είπα μέχρι 3 και 33, αλλά πέρασαν ήδη 2 λεπτά. Πέρασαν παραπάνω λεπτά από όσα ήλπιζα. Δεν έπεσα ακριβώς μέσα. Δυστυχώς. Αλλά νομίζω με αυτό το τσεστάκι θα τα ολοκληρώσουμε όλα τώρα. Wait. Parades. Oh no, Rebecca. Rebecca, don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Όχι, η Ρεμπέκα έχει και αυτή καλά upgrades. Oh no. Λέτε να σας δείξω τα skills μου εναντίον ένα καλού player. Μόνο 9 crystals μου έδωσε, ρε. Εντάξει, δεν θα τελειώσουμε ποτέ, guys. Μόνο 9 crystals. This is crazy. Oh no. Έχει παίξει 300 φορές, έχει κάνει μόνο 100. Γιατί Ρεμπέκα, μη φεύγεις. Ωραία. Πάμε να δοκιμάσουμε λίγο πώς είναι με ένα pro player. Ρεμπέκα Σκέλετον. Είμαι σίγουρος θα έρθει να μας κλέψει το κρίσταλ. Το βλέπετε. Οπότε πάντα μ' αρέσει όταν έρχονται να μου κλέψουν το κρίσταλ, τους κλέβω κι εγώ το δικό τους. Μία σου και μία μου. Oh no, Rebecca, what happened, Rebecca? Oh no, oh no. Where are you, Rebecca? Τι γίνεται εδώ πίσω? Δεν έχεις δώσει καθόλου προσοχή. Oh no. I'm sorry. Δεν έχω, όχι πάλι 4,5 λεπτά chase. Πρέπει να βγω, γιατί η Ρεμπέκα θα θέλει revenge. Yeah. Let's go back.
Lasagna brought the idea of John's fractured captive comics show not only that there is something kinda wrong with John Arbuckle, but also that is something that even in the early days of Garfield's online fandom, people picked up on. But where things get even stranger is when we look at this through the lens of what John Arbuckle was originally meant to be. Remember earlier when I said that Norm Nat ended in 1975, Jim Davis then spent 3 years doing nothing, and Garfield started in 1978? Well, that was a lie, but I framed it this way because for decades, that's what people thought was the truth. Listen to any interview in which Jim Davis speaks about the origins of Garfield, and he'll wheel out the same anecdote about the failure of Norm Nat because insects are not appealing characters, and how that realization led to him looking at dog-centric comics like Peanuts and Marmaduke and saying to himself, what if I can create a similar character but for people who like cats? And thus, Garfield was born. Except this version of events also ignores the existence of Heathcliff, another surly, round, orange cat who predates Garfield by about 5 years, and this isn't relevant at all, but I just think it's funny. However, this telling is a lie.
No, είναι κλεμμένο όλο το Garfield.
Because you see, in the period between 1975 and 1978, there was a third comic, one that was only discovered in 2019 by intrepid Garfield historian Quentin Reviews, and this comic was simply titled John. There are two very strange things about John, the first being how closely it resembles Garfield. Everything from jokes to entire layouts are repeated across the two series, the only difference being that the main character here is John. Davis has spoken a lot about how John Arbuckle is an analog for him. Both grew up on a farm, both live in Muncie, Indiana, and both are cartoonists. In fact, Davis originally wanted to use the character of John as a way to voice his frustration with the comic strip industry, which, if you look at where Davis was in his life when he first started writing this character, that tracks. John started just 2 weeks after the failure of Norm Nat, and you can feel that frustration in these early comics. In one instance, John even turning to the camera and saying how he thinks the content of this comic will land him in trouble with parents groups. And while Garfield still featured heavily, there were strips where he just didn't appear at all, with scenarios more focused on observational humor derived from the perspective of a single man. But it wasn't long into the run when that started to change, with jokes more and more centering around Garfield and not John. The final strip of John being published on August 8th, 1977, the strip returning a week later, but now named Garfield. And within a year, Garfield would be syndicated on a national level, becoming the newer version of the comic we are all now familiar with. The second thing I find so strange about John is that while Jim Davis is often happy to laugh about the failure of Norm Nat, he barely ever speaks about John, and when he does, he only talks about it in the vaguest of terms, as if it was an idea in his sketchbook as opposed to an actual published comic. And I can't help but wonder if there's something to that. If the idea of a comic that was meant to be his own perspective, his own outlet on life, was a failure, overtaken by a fictional character he created. Even stranger, as Garfield went on, the similarities between Jim Davis and John Arbuckle began to disappear. John's job as a cartoonist practically vanishing as he devolves into the pathetic shell of a man we now know. And I'm not saying here that I think Jim Davis has some deep-rooted trauma that is manifesting in his daily newspaper comic. I genuinely do not think that. But I do think that this perspective adds a lot to this strange meta-narrative of a man overtaken by his own creation, abandoning the character he once embodied, and that character now being trapped in a life of existential suffering. And here's the thing. If I was the only person who saw this, then there wouldn't be a story here. But I'm not. Let's go back to those last 5 minutes of...
Άρα σκιαγραφεί στην ουσία πτυχές του εαυτού του κάπως και βγάζει τις σκέψεις του στο χαρτί, το κόμικ, τον Τζον.
He begins to bear a striking resemblance to Jim Davis, the person we now know.
Όχι, ισχύει, μοιάζει λίγο σαν τον Jim Davis.
Meant to be. This new strange combination of Jim Davis and John Arbuckle, lost and clinging to the husk of a cat he should have let go of a long time ago.
Εντάξει, πρέπει να το δούμε αυτό. Δεν ξέρω όμως άμα είναι κατάλληλο για stream. Δεν ξέρω άμα είναι κατάλληλο για stream. Πρέπει να δούμε το τέλος του Λαζάνια Cat. Δεν θα κάτσω να δω 5 ώρες. Ρε φίλε, είναι όντως 5 ώρες να ανοίγει ξανά και ξανά και να λέει το ίδιο joke ξανά και ξανά. Απίστευτο ρε. Για να κάνεις το edit αυτό είναι να σου πάρει μέρες. Oh no, this is crazy.
Who's there?
Jaden Gitchell.
Jaden Gitchell who?
Betsy Joe, 5.
Oh no, I'm scared. I'm scared now.
Who's there?
Who's there?
John Arbuckle.
John Arbuckle. Who? John Arbuckle, 2. John Arbuckle, 0.
What? Και γέρασε κατευθείαν. This is crazy. Η γάτα.
Garfield and I are very dissimilar in many ways. I look forward to Monday mornings, and I'm an optimist, whereas Garfield is a pessimist. By virtue of being a cat, he's not young or old or male or female either. For some reason, human failings are very endearing in an animal.
Δεν έχει υπότιτλους όμως. Έλα ρε, θα μπορούσε να το κάνει Netflix movie. What the hell? Don't open it.
Some days I wake up and go, I am funny today. You know, you're well rested, something, you're just a good mood, and you can write 2 or 3 or 4 gags that day. Or sometimes I'll take a week, and in a week I can write a month's worth of gags.
I sit back in a very quiet place, and I visualize Garfield until I can literally see him in my head. I can watch him walk, I can hear him talk, I see him move, everything.
Is this bannable, guys? I think it has nudity, bro. They literally did this for 12 years, just to dead Jim Davis. Not funny. I didn't laugh. Φαντάζε να αφιερώσει όλη την καριέρα και στο τέλος σου δεν έχεις κάνει καλή δουλειά, φίλε. Θέλω πολύ να το δω, ρε, το βίντεο. Αλλά το λέει και ο τίτλος. Δεν ξέρω αν μπορώ να το δω on stream. I don't know. Θα κλείσω, guys, μετά από αυτό και θα μπω να δω όλο το iceberg από τον Garfield. Έχω ψηθεί full απίστευτα τώρα. Please, πες μου ότι τελείωσε το τσεστάκι, μόνο αυτό πες μου. Oh my god. Έχουμε κι άλλον player πάλι. Δεν νομίζω να τελειώσουμε ποτέ. Actually δεν θα τελειώσουμε ποτέ, ρε. 10-10 μας τα δίνει. This is crazy. Κυριολεκτικά μόνο για 40. Και για gold και για crystals. This is crazy.
Comes face to face with a version of Garfield that's become independent from him and is now strange and frightening before Davis crumbles to earth, outlived by the very thing he created, which is immediately followed by the bathroom scene. And vomited and swallowed again, forever. Sick joke, but no one is laughing. My blood will remain. Death isn't the end. I am in hell. This is hell. And while I can't show it on screen, in that final shot, the baby is shown wearing a blue shirt identical to John Arbuckle's. For pieces of art like this, I think there is a lot of different interpretations.
What?
But for me personally, when Lasagna Cat is taken in totality, it becomes this bizarre statement on what happens when the things you create become more powerful than you. How Garfield has become this semi-immortal entity, evolving past both John Arbuckle and Jim Davis. And I mean this literally. Garfield is no longer even created by just Jim Davis. He has an entire team of people working under him who have become so adept at creating Garfield.
Αλλά πλέον δεν είναι και πολύ δύσκολο να ζωγραφίσει τον Garfield. Είναι πολύ απλό. Και διαστικά νομίζω.
Long after he's gone. But here's the thing. It's not just Jim Davis's reality that Garfield has had this strange effect on. It's also ours. That might sound weird. I mean, how relevant could Garfield actually be in the modern era? Well, if I was to ask you which character out of Superman, Goku, and Garfield was the most syndicated, which would you pick? And if you picked any answer other than Garfield, well, that was a strange choice given the subject of this video, but yeah, it is Garfield. After multiple decades in thousands of worldwide newspapers, Garfield has an estimated audience in the hundreds of millions. The New York Times had to change how its trade bestseller list was categorized after 7 of its 10 slots were occupied by Garfield. And today, his merchandising sales are at an estimated $800 million to $1 billion, and that is a lot to sell
$1 billion?
Oh, wait, that's every year? That's every fucking year in products that twist Garfield into every conceivable form you can imagine. For example, Garfield soap, Garfield air fresheners, Garfield cushions, Garfield teapots, a poster with Garfield as a ninja, Garfield headphone holders, Garfield thermostat, Garfield commemorative
μπήκαμε
coin,
σε
Garfield
fight.
digital alarm.
Μπήκαμε σε fight. Wait. Anonymous. Kim Kardashian. Who are you? Δεν χρειάζεται καν να κουνιέμαι, ρε φίλε. Πάρε και αυτό εδώ πίσω, μη μου τα γυρνά σε μένα. And it's over. Έλα ρε. Banana, yes. Let's go, banana. Απλά έφυγε. It's okay. It's okay. Δεν πειράζει που χάνεις. Anonymous. Anonymous Kim Kardashian. Νομίζω αυτό είναι. Νικήσαμε. 20.000 και μόνο 40 crystals θέλω. Λοιπόν, Voyager's Volcano. Να τα κάνω μαζί όμως. Δεν ξέρω ρε. Θέλω να τα κάνω μαζί. Γιατί δεν έχω 40 crystals. Γιατί, πες μου γιατί. Μόνο για 40 crystals, απίστευτο. 40 crystals παίζει να είναι 4-5 chests των 4,5 λεπτών. By the way. I'm just saying, Θα μας βγει λίγο επίσης, είναι άλλη μία ώρα, έτσι. Είναι άλλη μία ώρα. What the hell? Τι μου έπαιξε εδώ τώρα, δεν το περίμενα αυτό. Έκανε το χιονάνθρωπο κόκκινο. Wow. Οκ. Οκ, Τζον, εσύ. Απλά καθυστερείς την ήττα σου. Δεν κάνεις τίποτα άλλο. Έλα ρε, τι μου έχει παίξει τώρα το μποτάκι. Την τρέλα μου. Απίστευτο. Κοίτα τι έχει βγάλει. Κοίτα τι έχει βγάλει. Άντε, επιτέλους. Jesus. Του έχει βάλει καινούργιες επιθέσεις. Αυτό με τον καπνό δεν το είχε. Θα πάρουμε instant crate. Το θέλω το instant crate. Το θέλουμε. Θα νικήσουμε με το instant crate. Wait, actually να μην περιμένω, λες. Μπορεί να είναι 4,5 λεπτά, άμα το πάρω όμως κατευθείαν. Άμα παίξουμε ένα fight με τον Dragon. Θα πάρω Insta Crate και θα περάσει και λίγο η ώρα. By the way. Αν και θα το κάνω πολύ πολύ πιο γρήγορα από τα 4 λεπτά αυτά. He delivered the demons. Όχι ρε. Θέλω ακόμη ένα win. Και μετά έχει 15 crystals. Νικήσαμε. Νομίζω τώρα θα βγεις. Όχι. Δεν βγαίνει. Γιατί δεν βγαίνει όμως. Περιμένουμε 2,5 λεπτάκια έτσι. Δεν νομίζω να μπει σε fight. Εγώ θυμάμαι αυτό το Garfield, Cares Garfield από το TikTok που ήταν παντού. Ένα πλάσι, μια αρκουδίτσα. Αυτό. Μπράβο.
In the mid-80s, a small coastal French village began to suffer an unusual phenomenon when plastic Garfield phones began washing up on shore. No one knew where they came from or why this was happening, but it continued for 3 decades, a mystery that was only solved in 2019 when the mysterious phones were traced back to a lost shipping container. We have so saturated this planet with Garfield merchandise that even the Earth herself has begun to reject it. If that's the case, why don't we notice Garfield more? Why don't we see him everywhere in every day? And the answer is because they don't want us to. In the early 1980s, a production accident led to a Garfield plush with suction cups attached to its hands and feet. Pause Inc., the holding company for Garfield, didn't expect what was a botched product
μην το κάνεις.
which is why it was
Μην το κάνεις, Bianco.
so popular, it led to a wave of car break-ins where radios and purses were left behind and only the plush was stolen. Sales climbing to a staggering $50 million. And what did Jim Davis and Pause Inc. do? We pulled all plush dolls off the shelves for 5 years. They didn't want Garfield to be a fad. They wanted to silently inject him into every part of our daily lives, where he could hide in plain sight, silently growing into one of the most dominant fictional characters on the planet. And here's the thing.
Πανέξυπνο.
What I'm about to tell you is not a joke. This is not some Space Jam 2-esque hijinks. This all happened over the course of making this video, an experience I call the Garfield phenomenon. It began in small ways. At first, I'd be watching a TV show and, oh, hey, there was Garfield. I look at Instagram and, my friends were posting about Garfield and,
είναι παντού.
I guess Chris Pratt is playing Garfield in the new Garfield movie. That's strange timing. Wait, why is Toby Fox talking about Garfield? And sexy goth Garfield began trending on Twitter? I began to feel slightly uneasy, so maybe I'll just try and relax and look at some gaming news and, oh, hey! I guess Garfield's the new character in that Smash Nickelodeon fighting game. Isn't that grand? I've been watching ReZero, which I did not like very much.
What's next, guys? Fortnite Garfield?
Which just can't be true, and what the fuck? A friend sent me a picture of a mural in an old house, and there was Garfield staring at me with what I can only describe as some kind of all-knowing contempt. I was now doing whatever I could not to think about Garfield, and I agreed to watch the first episode of the new Dexter with my partner, and...
Wow, yeah, I can only imagine. But I want to call him Garfield. I mean...
What the fuck? What the fuck did he just say?
Everywhere I looked, I saw Garfield. But why? Why was this happening now?
Βλέπει παντού Garfield.
And it did so in the form of a phone call.
Αλλά αυτό θα το μάθουμε, guys, την επόμενη φορά. Ρε, δώσε μου επιτέλους τα κρίστα. Please. Dragonia. Let's go, bro. Are you ready? I'm ready. Where is he? Τι κάνει ακριβώς? Αφού εσύ δεν έχεις chest να περιμένεις. Πού πήγε? Τι κάνεις στο σπίτι μου? Φύγε από εκεί πάνω. Nice. Έκανα 500 wins. Guys, τι άλλο θέλετε? Το τερμάτισα το game. Πω, κανένα 3ωρο βίντεο θα βγει και θα ξενερώσω. Σίγουρα. Σίγουρα τόσα πολλά βίντεο που είδα. The hell. Κάτσε να κρυφτούμε εδώ μέσα. Είναι επικίνδυνος αυτός. Πού πήγα? Δεν μπορείς να με βρεις. Δεν μπορεί να με δει. Κοιτάξτε εδώ τι του παίζω τώρα. Θα τον νικήσουμε από εδώ πέρα, guys. Χωρίς κανένα κρίσταλλο. Where am I, Dragonia? Where am I, bro? Άντε πάρε και ένα κρίσταλλο, μπας και σε βοηθήσει. Τίποτα δεν σε βοηθάει όμως. Jesus, ακόμη και έτσι. FK, τους νικάω. Τι άλλο θέλετε? Και banana και instant crate. Νικήσαμε. Άντε, άμα είσαι τυχερός και έρθεις θα δεις και εσύ τι ξεκλειδώνω στο house. 14 μόνο. Θέλω μόνο 8 λέει. Με δουλεύει το game, αλήθεια σας λέω. Θέλω μόνο 8 κρίσταλα. Μη μου δώσεις 6, θα το σπάσω, guys. Τι κάνει? Oh no. No. 1997. Να. Τι έχει πάθει εδώ, Μπιάνκο? Are you good, bro? Έχει το Grim Sprite. Nice. Ας ελπίσουμε να είναι πάλι banana chest. Guys, ξέρετε τι θα γίνει τώρα, το πόσο γκαντέμις είμαι γενικά στη ζωή. Θα μου δώσει 4ωρο chest ή 1,5 ώρα chest. Και δεν θα το δούμε ποτέ. Θα μείνω έτσι με τα 1997 στο χέρι. Αλήθεια σου λέω, αλήθεια σου λέω. Ό,τι χειρότερο. Θα γίνει το χειρότερο πράγμα που μπορείς να σκεφτείς τώρα. Οκ, μπανάνα, πάλι καλά. Το δέχομαι ρε φίλε. Το δέχομαι, επιτέλους. Επιτέλους νικήσα. Έλα να δεις τι ξεκλειδώνουμε. Πες μου τώρα, θα είναι πάνω από 3 κρίσταλα, επιτέλους. Δηλαδή, έλεος. Με το ζόρι, 5. Δεν πειράζει, τέλος πάντων. No. Θα έρθει όμως ο Μπιάνκο ή όχι? Come. Do you wanna see this? Do you wanna see this? Έλα να δεις τι θα ξεκλειδώσω. Guys, τα τελειώσαμε όλα. Voyager's Volcano. Τι? «93 Mothman, 3060 κρίσταλα». Έπρεπε να το είχα κάνει από πριν, δεν το ήξερα καν ότι θα μου δώσει τέτοιο πράγμα. Αυτό ήτανε μόνο. Όχι, τι μου έβγαλε. Για κάρτες μου έβγαλε επιλογή. Wow. Και τώρα έχω 2060 crystals, οπότε θα κλειδώνουμε και το Snow Zone. Και τα ολοκλήρωσα όλα, τα τερμάτισα όλα. See you next time. What easy. Drop a follow, drop a like. Wow. Έχει και εδώ κάρτες τώρα. Και μετά ποιος ξέρει τι άλλο θα προσθέσουν στο game. Πάντως δεν θα το ξαναστριμάρουμε. Πήραμε και μια αρίνα. Τον Ice Prince. Τα άλλα πρέπει να τα πληρώσεις για να τα έχεις. Mini Pass. Build Deck. Έχω 8.000. Που σημαίνει μπορώ να ολοκληρώσω και το Remus. Όχι, δεν μπορώ να τον ολοκληρώσω γιατί δεν έχω αρκετά. Μπορώ να ολοκληρώσω όμως αυτό εδώ. Easy. Max level, max level. Για αυτές τις γάτες θέλω μόνο 3 γάτες. Είναι δυνατόν? Max, maxed, maxed. Όλα maxed από ό,τι βλέπετε. Εντάξει, εκτός από τον Remus που είναι από τις πιο πρόσφατες προσθήκες τέλος πάντων. Στα spells επίσης όλα maxed. Μάλλον. Και αυτό βλέπετε, άμα μαζέψω gold μπορώ να το κάνω upgrade. Maxed. Εδώ θέλω ακόμα 5 μόνο. Maxed. Μπορώ να κάνω αυτό εδώ. Nice. Level 7. Και αυτό θέλει μόνο 5. Όχι. 7, 8. Easy. Easy. Okay. Phew. That was it. That was it. Δεν έχω καρδούλες να στείλω. Και για next time. Με κάποιο άλλο game. Κάποιο άλλο mod θα ολοκληρώσουμε. Κλακέτα τέλους και για αυτό το map. Thank you game. Πολύ μεγάλο like από μένα. Bye bye guys. See you next weekend I guess. Με FORTNITE. Αυτή τη βδομάδα θα παίξουμε κάτι άλλο. Wait. Μήπως να κάνω claim και αυτά πριν κλείσουμε. Τι άλλο έχω? Α, είναι αυτός εδώ. Θέλω τον άσπρο, yes. Πήρα ένα δράκο. Μάλλον θα πρέπει να κάνω κάποιο quest για να τον ξεκλειδώσω. Αυτός είναι πολύ ωραίος. Μου αρέσει.